And we're live. This is Julien Jean-Pierre from the Royal St.Lucian Seamoss Company. Thank you guys for joining me again for another night of Let's Talk About Seamoss. As always, the topic is open. Anything Seamoss related, so Seamoss related to Seamoss. That's what we talk about. A lot of times, I talk a lot about marketing and promoting your Seamoss business, getting started in it. So definitely, if you have questions in that area, I'm open to answer them. And let's wait a little bit for more people to join in. See who's going to come tonight and talk about Seamoss. Welcome, guys. The room starts joining in. Let me see if I can getting the live. Yeah. So I hope everybody's had a good week. My week's been pretty busy. We've been shipping a lot of Seamoss. Business feels like it's slowly picking up as the weather gets nicer. People are starting to move and get out. I think this COVID stuff is starting to get past us. It was really strange being out and about today, and actually whereas I would avoid going to stores, I was going into places because I knew I didn't have to wear my mask and stuff, And so I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, I can plan a trip soon to St. Lucia, and I won't have to deal with any of these kind of COVID restrictions and stuff. And, I'm really excited about that. We're also looking to start, as we're rounding, this is probably going on our second year in business. So we're thinking about and discussing about, expanding our product line beyond Seamoss, or just selling the raw Seamoss is what we mostly sell. Because, just Seamoss alone, there's so many different products that can be derived from it. And I think that there's a lot of products that aren't being sort of explored. Everybody's selling the gel, and there's so much other stuff stuff for your skin, making it in different recipes, using it in soups, ice creams. You know what I mean? It'd be cool to see a vegan ice cream, that's has a component of Seamoss in it. Even I know someone the other day, I can't remember if they got back to me or not, but they were going to try and take the Seamoss and soak it, and then they were going to batter it and deep fry it. And the idea was that it was going to be, I even think it was on one of these live streams, and the idea was that it was going to be like a calamari, or like a fried onion ring, which would be pretty cool. Welcome, Hardy. Thanks for joining in. And so, yeah, I think that there's so many different ways. Every time people go, oh, what can you put smoothie? Oh, you can put it in your smoothie. Well, I don't know. Not everybody has smoothies every day. What if you don't like smoothies? How do you take your Seamoss? You know what I mean? And why aren't we sort of using Seamoss in different recipes and stuff like that, like cookies, or baked goods? You know what I mean? Again, ice cream. I know in St. Lucia there's a guy that makes Seamoss popsicles, and so we need to start looking beyond just the gel and start, I mean, like everybody gets caught up on arguing about whether or not they should add fruit to the gel or not. I'll be honest, like for a while, I wasn't even like, I was kind of staying neutral to it, you know what I mean? Because for me, it was hard for me to have an opinion because I always like ate it raw. Like I never added flavor to it. But recently, I've, been having discussions with people and they've been giving me their Seamoss gel to sort of taste and try with fruit infused. And it's actually pretty good. And while I don't recommend someone using the fruit infused like 2 teaspoons a day or whatever, but if you're eating like a large quantity of it, and say the fruit infused, you take the jar and it lasts you like a week, then that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like why not? Like, but I don't think it's something that you need to keep in your fridge and like everybody says, don't have the same expectations as you would a gel that didn't have fruit. It's definitely not going to last longer. So yeah, I was like, this week business has been growing, getting new clients, which is good. Been doing a lot of research more on Facebook advertising and Facebook like strategies, and it's really cool. I think that a lot of people are missing out on the power and ability that Facebook and these other platforms can have for advertising when you really sort of get deep into the strategy of how you want to approach your client. And so one of the things I was watching today in these videos is they were talking about creating these like multiple ad sets with multiple ads in between and creating frequencies on when you would see these ads. And so the idea is that, you're supposed to spit out, I think they were, each user is going to see 2 ads a day every day for the next 5 days, and each ad is going to be different. And so to just send an ad out and have that sort of program to the user is not something that's easy to accomplish. But the way they sort of laid out the strategy and the plan on using these ad sets and, dividing the different ads up with the frequencies, it was really easy to see like, hey, yeah, you could really, immersify your client or the target market with these ads to the point where they only see your ads. They're only thinking about your product. And regardless if it's CMOS or you're selling widgets, that's what you want. You want, like, this is why Coca-Cola does not sell like all its cans of Coke because it's good Coke. It's because it's the only thing you think of besides Pepsi. You know what I mean? Like I was asking someone the other day, what do you think of Tab? And they're like, what's Tab? And I'm like, exactly. Like no one knows what this is because Tab does zero advertising. But Tab still you can still buy it in the stores. It was the original, I think it was like the original Diet Cola, right? But it's owned by Coca-Cola. They don't have a reason to, I think they even bought it just to like kill it. You know what I mean? Put it in the shelves and, keep it there for those that love it. But for the real, they just did not want to have to compete with Coke, their own product. And that's where they put most of their money in advertising. So yeah, these strategies are really cool. And I recommend that anybody that's serious about scaling their business, to make money, to really look and understand, even if you don't do it yourself, to even know what it is and how it works, so that when you're talking to your ad guy, you can say, hey, well, are you guys using multiple ad sets and frequencies or this and that, or this is how I want my ad strategy to be somewhat of, you know what I mean? You don't have to know 100%, but even to know 10% will give you an advantage when you're spending your money. And when it comes to advertising, every dollar counts. You know what I mean? When we structure our ad budget and stuff, our goal is to try and get, I think it's like I want to get like anywhere between $7 to $12 return, or what's called ROAS. So if I spend $1 on advertising, I want to get $12 back in sales. And so naturally, you spend $1,000 in advertising, you're going to get $12,000 in sales. That's how the market, the sort of strategy works. And if you're able to target the correct audiences, right, then that is achievable, because the more targeted your audience is and the more direct it is, the more it's almost like being laser focused and hitting the person you want to sell to, and so they instantly convert. And this is why I tell people you don't want to use this boost on your ad, because what happens is when you press that boost button and you boost your ad, you're basically just sending the ad out to whoever, and 90% of those, if not 99.9, are not interested in Seamoss. They could care less, so they'll just scroll. And then your budget comes up, and then you don't get any sales, and then you're like, "Oh fuck, advertising sucks," right? Of course it sucks, because the way you approached it sucked. You know what I mean? You didn't come in there like I don't know. I want to use the metaphor like a surgeon or even a sniper. You know what I mean? And so that's how you need to come in there with a little bit of knowledge and thought, uh, and logic. You know what I mean, as to why you're placing this ad, who you're trying to reach, what is the message you're trying to put, and what is the end result that you're trying to accomplish. And doing that will result in the sale. And this goes for any business. This isn't just Seamoss. This is, you could be selling bathing suits, and you need to come with that same approach, right? So before I keep rambling on and on about this marketing, let me know if any of you guys have any questions, anything specific you want to talk about in regards to Seamoss or the Seamoss business. I am doing the live stream on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. So you guys want to follow me on any of those platforms, you can. I also have a live speech talk going through Clubhouse. So if you're not comfortable being on a live stream, you can go and ask questions or speak to me directly through Clubhouse, which I think is a pretty good platform, very low key. And yeah, let's know what you guys want to talk about. No one wants to talk about anything? I gotta do a shave. Clean myself up. Actually, was working today. So tired. Oh, was like up early at the warehouse, and then my full time career before this was I sell real estate in Toronto, and so I went to a meeting where I signed the paperwork to list a home. We're going to list it in the East End of Toronto. It's going to sell for. We're looking to get anywhere between $1.7 to $2 million. This is crazy. It's crazy with the housing market here, and this is Canadian dollars. So I guess 2 million Canadian might be like, I don't know, 1.7 million US. Still a large sum of money, but her property is beautiful. And when I look at because a lot of people are always asking me, like, and I hate to sort of deviate on Seamoss, but talk about real estate, but I think it all has relevance in the fact that it all comes down to perceived value. That's what price comes down to. And yes, a lot of it has to do with the costs involved and the work involved, but there's a value into the time and energy put into something. and just the ability to get that same quality, you know. And that's one thing I've noticed in the case of Seamoss is that, not all the Seamoss is of the same sort of caliber, quality, or level, and yet we have no real way of grading the Seamoss to say, okay, this is on this sort of par, this is this sort of par. Yes, I do believe, and I've always said Seamoss is Seamoss, but wet sea moss between dried sea moss, to me that should have a price difference. Sea moss that's clean versus sea moss that's dirty, that should kind of have a price. You know what I mean? Sea moss that and I mean I still think they all have the same sort of nutrient quality because, like I said, sea moss is sea moss. But when you're looking at the appearance wise, there is definitely you know and I mean, and I guess that's the I like that because I always said, okay, well, how do you grade this? Because a lot of times it really comes down to personal preference and the demand for personal preference. And so there is some CMOS that, well, I may not somewhat believe is better. The demand for that particular look and style of CMOS far outweighs some of the other CMOS. And so the question is, why is this CMOS this price and that CMOS is that price? You know. Anyways, getting back to the real estate, the house is selling for 1.2 or 1 point. We're gonna sell it for around. She wants 2 million. I think we're gonna get land somewhere between 1.7 and 2 million. And even last year, a house like that wouldn't have sold for that much. But what it is just like there's only so much available homes in Toronto. No one's selling their homes. And so there's so many people that want to live here. And, when you look at other cities, like I watched House Hunters the other day and they were doing a house in Atlanta and the house was like 350,000. And it was like huge, way bigger than the house that I'm selling for 2 million. Although the property on this house is massive. Like she's got a pond in there, and all this gazebo and shit like that. So to me, it's kind of like, all right, you know what I mean? You could build 3 houses on this land. That's how big the land is. You know what I mean? It's huge. Um, and so, why is it worth, 1.72 million? Literally because you could not buy, like if you want this house right now, you can't buy something like that at all. You know what I mean? I just sold a house for a fraction of the size for like 1.1 million. You know what I mean? And that was like we had like 30 people wanting to buy that house. You know what I mean? And so in that sort of situation, the value increases of something because there's a rarity to it. You know what I mean? And so in some ways you can't expect to buy something that's almost impossible to get for the same price that's available everywhere. You know? It's just the way it is. It's like having in certain foods. I think there's like certain animals. There's like this cheek muscle. And I know they talk about it in fish, and they talk about it in other stuff. And this is like beef and stuff, where this is like a real tender part of the animal. And because it's so sought after, you know, they it's expensive, and because it's just a small area. But then you got a situation like wings, where chicken wings, at one time, no one wanted chicken wings. They used to just throw them away. They were like garbage. And then one guy decided, oh, I'm gonna deep fry them, and he deep fried them, put some sauce on them, and now they're like a sports food. You know what I mean? So crazy how like life is, and just how things can change from something being valuable to something being less, or something being less valuable to something having instant value. Like even oxtail. Oxtail was something that everybody used to throw away. You know what I mean? Until, they decided to figure out ways to make it tender and more tasty. Now, this thing is like the most expensive meat, you know what I mean, in the butcher shop. It's like what you get, it's crazy, you know? By the way, I'm not an oxtail fan. I'm just noticing that this meat is more expensive than like chicken or thing, and it's like the tail, you know. I'm not really excited about eating the tail of anything. But that's another conversation. Oh, Reginald, hey, what's up? I didn't even see you come in there. And hey, Devin, anytime you guys want to come in and chat or ask questions, you know, I'm just rambling on. Not much, not much. Just rambling on about pricing and value, and just like how we value certain things for certain reasons and scarcity. And like, have you noticed that there's no like real grading system for Seamoss? Not at all. No, no, not at all. And I mean, there's times where people are showing me photo. I mean, they're asking me for pricing of the Seamoss, and they're not even interested in seeing the quality. I'm thinking like I could, well, no, sorry, I never thought that. I'm thinking now as we speak. I should be clarified because I never think about that. But I'm thinking like I could just send them anything, and they, you know what I mean? Like we didn't discuss it. You didn't check to see what Seamoss I was sending you. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Some of them they just focus so much more on price. That's I guess my whole point. Is like if they can get it for $1 less, they're going for it. And yeah, I get it. They're running a business and stuff like that. Money's money. But in a lot of situations, especially like if you're making gel and stuff, there's so much margin in the business. Like I'm surprised you guys aren't even selling more. I hate to be critical of your work. Sorry. But I'm just curious. Like to me, I feel like some of them, and I'm not saying you because I'm saying you do well, but like I don't know if it was me in that shoes and I was making gel, and I knew that I was making say $300 off the pound, right? And to make that $300, I had to sell 15 items or 16 items. It's like I would spend 100 of that 300 on advertising, and like I would reinvest like most of it. Like I'm just wondering sometimes why there's some people that are not selling more than they could be. Like what is holding them back from sort of getting that scale? Look, because I don't know. I think it might be that part of getting that or setting up the advertising and everything. Because like since we talked, like I never really knew anything about like ad management. Mm-hmm. So before that, like I've been in business maybe a year or so. But before that, it was just all word of mouth. It was just like word of mouth. Like, hey, this guy got 2 months. Hey, this is good. So, and then, like I say, as of recently, I'm just starting to get into the pop-up shops. But I think a lot of people don't, take advantage of those ads and know like what could, come back from setting those ads up and, getting that clientele or getting that exposure. Mm-hmm. I think that might be the problem is that they don't have enough exposure. Like right now, like that's what I'm focused on more so is the exposure. So yeah, like the product is gonna sell, but if you don't have people to sell to, then
what are we doing? So that's what it's more so focus on that exposure. So
That's it. You gotta always be selling, like literally always be selling. And I mean, why not? It's like at $10 profit almost each item, right? Like I don't know how much you price yours, but I'm just estimating an average $10, probably maybe less or more. But it's like, yeah, you sell 10 of them, that's $100. You know what I mean? And I always wonder, like, how much time would it take you to stand on a street corner and sell those to random strangers, right? And if
yeah,
you,
that's what I had. One of the vendors though that has pop up shop.
mm-hmm,
He said he sell popcorn. When you say I asked him, I was like, how often do you do pop up shops? I was like, what, maybe once, twice a month? And he looked at me. He was like, what the fuck? He was like, this is my business. He was like, I go to pop up shops like 3 times a week. It
mm-hmm,
was like sometimes he stays in a college area. He say sometimes he'll set up his tent set up his table right in front of his house and just catch the people just driving up and down the street, with a sign that say, hey, we have popcorn.
yeah,
And that shows, how much you really want it. How bad is your want to.
mm-hmm,
If you're willing to go on that corner and just set up and just say, fuck it, like we're gonna sit out here and, sell Seamoss today. Like, fuck it, like let's get out here and get it.
mm-hmm,
So I think it's all a part of how bad is your want to.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. But I see it like this: if you could sell, say, three jars in an hour, you know what I mean, and you're making $10 off each jar, that's a $30 an hour income. Like some people work harder to make less money.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I like since I started doing the pop up shops,
Mm-hmm.
the vendor events. And anyone listening, if y'all haven't done it yet, I'm telling y'all to do it
Yeah.
because one with the with the Seamoss is very it's visual, so it catch people attention. If you have your jars sitting up there, and they have different colors, and a lot of people have heard about Seamoss. So that's already that's kind of already easy, like an easy sale and exposure. But I mean, I go out there. This past one, I went out there. I stayed out there for maybe 4 or 5 hours, and I came up with like $500. So that's like $100 an hour just sitting out there, but not just getting the money, but also getting exposure. Because of course I have my flyers and my cards sitting on the table. So everybody that buys something or everybody that walk past my table, I have samples in a little souffle cup. So you're gonna taste my Seamoss. You're gonna learn something about Seamoss. You're gonna take this card and you might make a purchase.
Yeah.
And so I would suggest to anybody if you've been thinking about it, because I held back on it for a while. Anybody that may have been thinking about it, just do a pop up shop. If you do the jails, if you're doing the jails, yeah.
You should be doing it almost like anywhere where there's a big crowd. Like, dude, if you go to any sort of especially this summer, you go to any festival or whatever, and you make a bunch of drinks and stuff like it. Like, I'm even thinking about, like, there's a Caravana coming. I'm going to double check and see if it's happening this year. And I'm going to get a vendor's thing, and I'm going to whip up a bunch of stuff and just go down there and do, like, pina colada and some kind of, like, sorrel drink. And then I don't know. Fuck, I'll make something up. You know what I mean? Like I'm making it up as I'm talking right now. But definitely do some kind of like revitalized shot. So if they're all like tired or whatever, they take the shot and they're all woo, and just sell all that stuff $5, $5, $5, $5.
Yeah.
Maybe $5, maybe $10.
Yeah.
Do two, 3 for 20 or something like that. Definitely the drinks you could sell big, like a decent size for the drink and sell it for $10 and do 3 for 20. You know what I mean? And keep your costs like down like $2 or $2.50. You know what I mean? And make $8 off the drink. And then sell water and a few other things while you're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it, bro. 3 coolers and you're done. That's it. A peanut punch. You gotta have a peanut punch. You know, I do one with some kind of tamarind shot. That would just kind of like tamarind ginger shot or something like that. But that would be cool. And yeah, I would go wherever crowds are, wherever there's a festival, wherever this that, and I would sell the drinks, but I would see it as more like you said, like an advertising vehicle, and that would mean my purpose to be there and just sell myself and be like, yeah, I got this, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I would look at like not only selling my product, but I think what I don't understand, everybody should have uh, like a whole, like if you're making the product, they should have a wholesale component to it, where it's like you make your product without, the white label. And I even think, honestly, and I think this is where the sort of like the future of the market is heading, is that you source out a good person. Like if you really want to scale and do a lot, you source out someone that knows how to make the gel already and has the equipment to make it at scale or whatever other products and get them to supply you.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Because it's good to make the product yourself and everything like that, but you don't need to be the hero. You know what I mean? Like if the other guy's making it good and they're going to sell it to you at a good price, and you just have to pick up what you need, the amount of time that you save making and sort of filling the product, like you could put that into marketing. Because there's guys I know that don't even touch their product. There's guys I even do business with myself where they're like, send it here, send it there, send it here. You know what I mean? They don't need to see it. And then they wire me the money. They send me the money for all the shit. And then, and they're on the phone cutting flips, adding their few $100s to this, few $100s to that.
Big middleman.
Yeah.
Big middleman.
Yeah.
Like I say, kind of like Amazon or Uber or something like that. Like literally, like it's just like, hey, you need coffee cups? I know where to get some coffee cups from. Hey, coffee cup supplier.
Boom.
These coffee cups to these people. And it's like, but look, I'm gonna take a couple of dollars off of your. You know what? Don't even worry about it. You don't even have to worry about how much I'm taking off. Just this. Like.
You know what? One of my best like business moves is so I used to have this little business where I was kind of like a concierge, kind of like fixer guy. Like I book things, order things, all kinds of stuff. And my target market or the market I dealt with was mainly nightclubs and like after hour places and stuff like that, where they needed shit delivered to them at a certain hours of time, but you can't go from a regular thing. And so one of this promoter chick, she called me and wanted popcorn. And so I went to this party supply guy to get the popcorn, and I was starting to order so much popcorn off him. He was like, you know what I mean? Fuck, why don't you just, order it yourself, right? And so I found out where they ordered it from. I opened up an account and I turned myself into a popcorn business, and I started selling popcorn to all the nightclubs, and they were ordering from me, paying a premium, right? Because it like in Canada they have this stupid rule. Well, it's not a stupid rule; it makes sense. But all nightclubs have to serve some kind of food after a certain hour to give the people, like if they need something to eat or something. So a lot of times these clubs give you popcorn and shit like as you're going out. So you eat the popcorn and you kind of sober up or whatever. And so I was selling a lot. I had one big contract where this one company had, I think, like 8 or 10 nightclubs all across the city. And so I supplied all their popcorn for them. And I was able to, I basically just like middled it, ordered it from the shop, added like $2, whatever a case. They ordered so many cases that I just went and picked it up and I delivered it on Friday nights. You know what I mean? At like 8 o'clock or whatever, because the other guys wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And so I didn't make the popcorn. I didn't box the popcorn. I didn't do the shit. I just picked it up, paid it, boom, bam. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of guys that can do that. You know what I mean? Like, why aren't they doing that? Kind of hustling it. You know what I mean? Going and finding the guys and not bothering with it, like at some point we all can't be doing the same thing and expect us all to really make money. There's money and room for everybody to make money, but it just doesn't make sense if we're all like, it's almost like we're wasting too much resources, and we would make more money if, because realistically, if a larger percentage of people decided to not go into the manufacturer side and just purchase from a guy, then that saves them all their equipment, you know what I mean? Jars, this, that, their time, especially, like I said before, you know what I mean? And so that's more profit for them. The guy that's making the gel, the more people that he gets making, coming in ordering from him, allows him to double up on his orders, buy bigger equipment that makes it faster. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's like we're all kind of having our own little role, and working in like a collective stuff. So even though we're running our own businesses, we're running it smart in a sense. I don't know. It's just a thought. Like, who knows if the industry will get like that? But I think it makes sense if it does. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it'll probably get to that because like Seamoss, everything is getting bigger and bigger. Like I seen somebody the other day, excuse me, post and they was doing Seamoss granola bars.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like it's becoming more and more prominent. It's becoming more and more popular. So it's going to get to. I feel like it's going to get to that point. Like it's not going to like reach some pinnacle and just flop. Like I think it's going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing.
Oh yeah.
And then spread to other communities also because I know right now, like if I ask a white guy, I see him in like Walmart or something, they like, what? Like, have you heard of Seamoss? What? You know, so like it is gonna spread more and more and more and more.
No, you're right, and it's barely touched the surface, like barely. Like really and truly. Like I'm not trying to sell it. I'm like anybody, I challenge you to really sit down and think about how many people you know don't know about Seamoss and think about how many people are out there. You know what I mean? That have not a clue. You know, like we're looking at a city, I'm in a city of what, 3 million people. You know what I mean? Even if a million people don't know about Seamoss, that's just my city. Do you know what I mean? Like that, like if I could even get 1,000 of that million, do you know what I mean? I'm doing well. So it's like there's so much. Huh?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, I guess they kind of come. Well, that goes back to kind of that exposure and the ads and throwing it in everybody's face, like getting everybody attention, to get them on the wagon.
You can't be shy about it. Like literally, you can't. You know what I mean? You have to speak to everybody you can. Like, dude, everybody I meet, I tell. Like, even when I'm in real estate, I bring it up. When I'm at the warehouse and someone comes in for something else, I'm talking to them about a CMOS. A lot of times I give a lot of samples away for people that stop by because it's not even just me trying to sell CMOS. It's more about me opening up the idea. Because even when if I give you
Yeah.
the sample, right? Most people that I give the sample to, I'm almost positive they're not going to take that sample and turn it into CMOS. But what they'll kind of do is hold on to it and think about it. And then when they find someone that makes the gel, they'll buy the gel off them. Hopefully, hopefully, I pray hopefully,
Yeah, because
that
it'll
the
be.
person they buy the gel from is buying CMOS from me. And it completes the circle. You know,
They
only
go right back around.
yeah, only one can think positive, but that could happen. And sometimes I've said it to guys like, I don't, I like, I'm a nice guy. I like, I can be sometimes social, but when it comes to doing business, I'd rather do business with like 30 people that I like doing business than trying to get every sale that I can. And so I guess my point in saying that is kind of like, I would rather the like there's certain things I don't do business wise because I feel like it encroaches on the market that I'm trying to sell to. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a reason why I'm not making gels. You know what I mean? Because I sell to so many people that are making gel that it almost kind of like it's like, is it fair that I do that? You know what I mean? I don't think so. So that's one of
Yeah,
the
no, I mean it I don't know. I mean, like myself, like I'm trying to get to the point where I don't have to do gels no more, and I'm just selling sea moss, just
mm-hmm.
big uh, bulk sea moss, So, and honestly, like as of lately, I kind of been still, although like the gel is how I, came in to the whole thing, but like recently I came up with fruit juices
Mm-hmm.
with the sea moss in there, and then like I started doing like herbal capsules like moringa and beetroot and bladder rag, spirulina, different capsules. So it's like, yeah, the sea moss is there, but now that sea moss has caught your attention, look at all of this other stuff that I have also. So yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that's what more businesses need to be like. Like it can't be like you really want to maximize your money, like, and you're gonna run a business. You should be having like a selection of products. You need to be like the one-stop health shop for your businesses. All the ones that I see that are doing well, they're doing well not because they're just selling CMOS, but because they're selling soursop leaves and ashwagandha and pills and powder and this and that. And so, I feel like you don't just jump into that. You come up with a game plan, but on how to like introduce one product after another and everything like that. You definitely want to look at like, you know, uh, expanding your. You don't want to be like a one SKU one day.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, say if, just some magical, unfortunate wave happened and CMOS just, is done.
Mm-hmm.
And, all the CMOS suppliers or all the CMOS that selling CMOS gel,
Mm-hmm.
Then down, there you go. But say, and that's why, like, when I first started the company, I thought of the name, and I came up with Key to Natural Health. And it was like, I didn't want to incorporate, Reggie's Best CMOS Gel, LLC, or something like that, because it wasn't just going to be, CMOS, although that was my, kind of avenue in. It was like, like we have all this natural other, all these other natural healing things. So it's yeah, definitely. You need different avenues, I guess you could say. One would need different avenues. You know, unless you like big time super, Seamoss supplier, then super good ass Seamoss from St. Lucia,
Yeah, true. Well, I have a question. What items would you want? Like, if you could get a wish list, like, what items are you lacking that you're not, like, you wish you had better access to or better pricing on, that you find is hard to get?
For sure, the soursop leaves, because it's hard to get them here in the States. Like, I have a website that I go to that I get most of my herbs from, and I have a couple of websites, but the soursop leaves is like, for some reason, it's kind of like we have to go to other countries to get them, and the other countries take kind of forever sometimes, or they're high price. Like soursop is a high price. Different like Jamaican. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you, what's a good price for you? Like, what do you find is a good price for soursop?
I paid for and I want to say it was like $30, maybe. I can't remember exactly because I still haven't got them. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to give you like a good price right now because it's like I haven't looked at it, to see. But
do you think 30 a pound or 30 an ounce?
I think it was like 30 for like 4 ounces or so. Like 30 for like 4 ounces, and that's like kind of expensive. And then of course it hits you with the shipping costs and everything like that. So, but I know that the soursop leaves are very nutritious and very beneficial health-wise.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, I honestly have yet to try them.
Really?
Yeah, I have yet to try any soursop leaves.
Oh shit, bro! I gotta make a note, try and send you some. You're not planning to order Seamoss off me anytime soon, are you?
Nah, yeah, I just got the 10 pounds of the super dry yesterday. It just came in the mail yesterday.
How'd you like it? Is it okay or?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's, like I said, like I do the gel, so it's not too far off from, the like you say, like if one was to be selling actual Seamoss, like bulk Seamoss or selling Seamoss by the pound, I can see the difference, as opposed to like I bought, I think, like 6 pounds from you a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I can see the difference, in the presentation of it, but for the gels, it's like, it's still
once it soaks up, it looks the same.
Yeah, so I know it's still gonna harness the same benefits, and I know that my customers are going to enjoy it the same way. So I like it. I like it. It still has a great smell to it that some people may not like, but I like the smell. I like the smell of Seamoss.
Oh, yeah, nutty smell.
I like it. I like it. So, yeah, greatly appreciate that.
No problem, my pleasure. So,
sorry,
go ahead.
If I could even get 1,000 of that.
I may get some green and purple soon, just to keep the green and purple in stock, because it's like businesses. It's like I say, like with the pop-up shops, it's bringing more exposure. And, I'm kind of practicing a little bit with the ads, so it's bringing more exposure. So I'm running through Seamoss a little bit faster than what I'm used to. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's damn good. That's damn good. So
yeah, that's the best way to get price. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's another thing that kind of confuses me about these people that shop around for price. It's like, dude, you have not bought anything from me, and you want me to give you the lowest price. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to have a relationship built. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we can sort of like help, like, and that's what I find crazy. Like, I can help you sell more Seamoss. Like, I guarantee you, like, I don't care what anyone says. You call me once a week and we sit down and talk for half an hour, your Seamoss business will grow. And we'll
Yeah,
just
I know that.
talk about whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that one time that I think you put it on the Seamoss Buyers Club. Just like anybody want to learn how to scale their business up a little bit, and you was giving free 30-minute sessions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like looking at the comments, and I'm like, damn, nobody's taking advantage of this. Like as soon as I seen it, I was like, shit, I'm getting my spot in line.
Yeah.
And I think we ended up staying on the phone for like an hour and a half, but I learned so much in that hour and a half, about the advertising and everything. So, yeah, so I might need to start doing it. Like, just probably call you and talk to you,
Fuck
for
yeah. Dude, you
just
should.
an hour once a week or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm still learning about the ad manager. Like I have one running. I have one running right now, and I see the clicks. Like I did it to where it's to get more clicks on the website, and I'm noticing, that I am getting more clicks. But that's the difference from before when I was just making an ad where you see you post a picture and it say boost this post, and it just you just kind of put your money in there and it just do whatever. You just let it go and do whatever. Yeah, as opposed to what I learned from you that day, and just listening to you, on here, period. And it's like, okay, well, go into Ad Manager, put in there exactly what you want. How long you want it to run, what crowd you want to catch. Like go in there and actually diversify yourself. And I see the clicks are like they're coming in, like boom. So yeah, definitely probably have to, just probably once a week.
Yeah.
Just sit there and just chop it up.
I'll grow your business. You have no idea how much Seamoss I'm like sitting on. Like, it is ridiculous. And I need people to really grow and scale up and move the Seamoss because I have access to it. It's there. Like, the only thing that's really slowing me down is that I don't have enough money to buy it all, or else I would. You know what I mean? Because I know I'll sell it. It's there. People want it. You know what I mean? And well, you've seen the guy, Alexio. He's doing $500,000 in sales a month.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He told me, sometimes like the amount of returns that he has to do is like it's ridiculous because the bottles get smashed, and not because of them, but more because of the bottles getting damaged in transit. But it's all part of doing business, and so you got to be prepared for that when you scale. You got to be prepared to spend $10,000-$20,000 a month on advertising. I bet you that guy, to get his $500,000 of sales, he must spend at least $40,000 to $50,000 a month on advertising.
And that's continuous. Every time somebody log into anything, like they're seeing it, right there in their face. Every time they log in, it's what is this? Seamoss Boss, or what? I don't know.
The transformation factor.
Yeah. So it's like every time you log into something, boom, it's right there.
But
and almost.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, but imagine like I went to you and said, "Look, give me $100, and I will give you $1,000 in sales." Would you do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so
absolutely.
That's how that advertising works. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And sometimes you even get more than that. You know what I mean? Because this is the thing too that I don't know if I explained to you when we talked on the phone, but like the advertising that you do today does not get the sale today. Do you know what I mean? And so the people that see your website today, they're not buying for another 3 to 5 days from now. So you need to keep that advertising going to create the momentum so that eventually, a week or two after you started the advertising, the sales come in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's true because there's been times that I may see something pop up on my Facebook or something. Maybe an event or a new something came out or a new event has started, and that first time you might just look at it and you may not even look at the website the first time. You might scroll past it and then you see it again. It's like, click, and then once you click, it kind of like now it's gonna like continuously like be there every time you jump on your social media. The pixel, the Facebook pixel that you was telling me. Yeah, so it's like now every time you get in there, it's like boom, here it is again. And that's when people like, Facebook is listening to me. So it's like it's just boom, 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 constantly in their face.
That's how the sort of like the advertising works. And like how you get them to get your pixel to your website is by putting like sort of, at least for me, what my strategy is to send them there through sort of like cheap like ads, but are targeted towards people interested or curious about Seamoss. Right? And so your initial ads for your cold audience, what they would call it, is and you want to like go into the ad manager and bid the cheap, like this is what I do. Like some people might disagree with it, but I would bid the cheapest so that the only time my ad shows is when it's cheap. You know what I mean? And then over time, it's going to show a lot of times to these people, right? Because while I want it to be like a billboard, I want it to be like the cheapest billboard. And as long as some people see it, you know what I mean? They're the ones that are going to then go to my website. Now I caught them on the pixel. I follow them, all that kind of stuff, and then, I send them ads, and if they buy, then they convert, and then I can create a lookalike audience based on those audiences. But I didn't pay a lot of money to procure that audience initially. And so, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was seeing something like that yesterday when I was in the ad manager, and it was kind of saying like, if you want to set up an ad, I guess it would kind of, throw like how you kind of explained, and it was like you can pay for this cheaper ad and pay for this other ad, and then it'll compare the two of them and kind of, like say how much exposure you get from this one and how much you get from this one. And then if you get better exposure from this one, then this is the one that we're going to use. And then use that one and then make another one and compare it to that one so that you can start finding, I guess, the best ones to bring in the best exposure.
Yes. And those I reckon. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I got in there and I kind of like, it was already late. So I was like, okay, I'm going down a whole nother rabbit hole. So I was like, let me just stop right here. I just backed out just with the regular ad that I put up there.
So, and that's why you need to come in like a little bit of a strategy to define whether or not the ad you're creating is going after your cold audience or your hot audience, which usually your hot audience should be someone like a lookalike audience of people that have converted or people that have done some kind of actionable thing that leads you to believe that they're very interested and serious about buying Seamoss. And it's just a matter of them finding the right supplier. Because in a lot of sense, these people at a certain point, when they click your ads and stuff and then go to your website, they're now shopping. Right? And so it's like, how do I get them to see my store as the one they want to shop at, the one that they're going to trust for? But getting back to what we were saying about like the timing and everything, if you look in, like, if you have a site like Shopify, you can look at your metrics and you can see, or even when you convert a sale, you can look at the side panel and you'll see like where where the lead came from, you know, how long they were there, how many times they went on the site, and you know, like just sort of like the history before it converts. And so when you look at that, you'll notice that especially when they come from an ad, from like Google AdWords or something like that, they're going to be on your site for a couple times, or it's going to be a couple days before they actually make the purchase. So you got to keep that in mind when you're doing your advertising. But I think like doing the pop-ups is good, and I would even look at trying a strategy where you do the pop-up and then you run ads in the area or to people that were in that area about Seamoss. So it's almost like you catch all the people that were visiting the pop-up, like whatever event in that neighborhood, and you're streaming Seamoss ads.
Yeah. See, that's something that I have to learn how to do, because someone else told me that as far as per se, if I was doing a pop-up shop, you know, next week on the south side, well, I would set up an ad even before the pop-up shop saying that, hey, I will be at this pop-up shop in this area on this particular day, and Seamoss and Seamoss-based products will be available at this pop-up shop. So that ad is already running, in that area, so they know, hey, I heard it was, I seen it was a pop-up shop, this Saturday. Let me go check this out. And then, like you say, same thing after the pop-up shop is still right there in their face. So
another idea I just had that just came to mind is you can do a contest where you could say to the people like, hey, fill out this form and we'll enter you in a contest, plus we'll send you a bunch of recipes or a bunch of, maybe make up a cookbook and just get a bunch of recipes from Seamoss and put it in the book and call it your free cookbook on thing. Maybe credit the people that made the recipes and where you got them from, but this is a collection of your stuff. Well, here's the kicker. You get them to scan a QR code or something where they go onto a form and they fill out the form to get it, right? Now, once you get that, you can then pretty much trace them they're on your, whether you do it on your website or you do it through a Facebook sort of like form fill out, they're going to capture that action on that pixel, and you're going to be able to track it. And then you can start sending them additional ads and stuff like that about the season, like weeks later or months later. You know what I mean? And you can even have it set up for automatic, like pop-up shop, and so that you want to run this series of ads to all the people that have ever been to your pop-up shop.
Yeah, that's extremely smart there.
And then that's more targeted, right? Because now, people got to realize, like, when you do the boost, the ad and stuff, it's like the equivalent of putting up a billboard, and everybody passes by, and some people see the ad and some people don't, right? But when you sort of target the ad and you direct it towards the audience, it's like coming up to someone in a party and saying, hey, sorry to bother you, but I just wanted to let you know about this product. If you're interested, it's over there in the corner. You know what I mean? And then you walk away. And then 10 minutes later, you got someone else come, or, the next day, you have someone walk up to you, and eventually they're going to be like, maybe we should try that out. These are some of the tactics that I use in real estate for marketing. month. So like I will, have the event. Just trying to think what some of the stuff I do now for real estate. A lot of it now I do is just mailing lists, to be honest with you, and it's all like the flow. You know what I mean? But like I always keep in contact with them in our farm area and stuff like that. We send ads and we run ads like so I'll send a flyer to your door, right? And then I will follow up with sort of ads in the area, especially like on Facebook ads. I'll follow up with like ads showing like we sold this, we sold that, or we're talking about like who we are as agents, and why would people you should choose us and stupid stuff. And then I follow up with a phone call. And a lot of times, if the ad has hit them, they'll bring it up. Oh, you're that guy. I seen you on Facebook. You dropped a flyer at my door. Da 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 da. You know what I mean? I'm not ready to sell. I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? Which is fine, right? I almost love those calls because I want someone to tell me they don't want it. You know what I mean? They don't want it because that means that I've eliminated you. And the more I eliminate the people that don't want it, the quicker I'm going to get to the people that do want it. See, that's the opposite thinking of what most people think. And the way most people think, it causes them to be limited because they're afraid of going to that person because what if I don't get the sale? If you talk to enough people, you will get the sale. Do you know what I mean? Like if you talk to 1,000 people, someone's gonna buy.
Yeah. It's like my homeboy used to say back in the day, like when we used to go to like beach parties or something and say, hey, you gotta shoot 1,000,000 shots. And, hey, at least one of them gonna hit, just using in the context of talking to like the women, the chicks out there. It's like, oh, we gotta shoot 1,000,000 shots. But I mean, it's the same thing. If you keep shooting, like something is gonna hit eventually. So it's the same thing in this sense, You talk to 1,000 people, somebody's gonna react to it. But if you don't talk to anybody, then I mean, shit.
No, listen. What you said there is so true. I've seen it like with my own eyes because I used to throw these parties, like house parties, and I used to have a friend that was kind of like a geek, right? And he would come to the parties, and he literally would ask every girl, "Hey, you want to fuck? Hey, you want to fuck?" 99% of them said no, but guaranteed, at the end of the night, he got laid.
Yeah.
And I say that sometimes when we're selling houses. I say it only takes one buyer. We only need one buyer.
Yeah.
That one buyer comes through the door, we got him. Boom. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, when this business, it's a numbers game. You ask enough people, and so the key is, if you don't want to ask 1,000 people, then you need to be tailored with who you ask. But you still need to ask a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like you need to ask, if it's the right people, you ask 100 people, 2 or 3 people will say yes. You know what I mean? And now you got to figure, okay, well, how many yeses do I need to make a substantial profit? Right? Say it's 100 yeses. Okay, so now I need to talk to, what was it? Like, fucking, I'm too tired to do the math. But you know what I'm saying? Probably a couple 100,000 people to get those couple thousand yeses or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all relative. Well, let's do that. To get 100 yeses at a 2% conversion, you would have to speak to 2,000 people or show your product to 2,000 people. I'll give you a look on my site today for the metrics. We had, hold on, it's just loading up here. Well, I can say we had 13 orders and 253 visitors. You know what I'm saying? So you got to even look at your visitors and ask yourself, how many people are visiting my website every day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it 100?
Yeah, that's what I just
10.
Just logged into my ad manager here, and like I said, I put up an ad yesterday, and it's a 952 reach, 59 clicks, and what $6.32 or so. That was just from yesterday. Cost per click. What does that mean? Cost per click? Like it says 11 cents. So that's
So every
11
time,
cents per every time somebody click and goes to my website.
yeah. And so you need to find a way, and there's some YouTube videos on it, how to set up your ad manager so that you can see the right columns, because there's certain columns of information that help you understand how much you're actually getting from the sales on your site, especially in regards to like it tracking from when it shows the ad to the person until when the sale is converted. And so there's like one of them is called ROAS, which is called return on ad spend. That to me is critical. And you need to understand how to calculate the return on ad spend. To be honest, I haven't done it in a while, so I can't remember. But basically, it's like you convert your cost, your average order, and the cost or the amount of profit that you make in that average order, and then you do some formula that basically figures out how much sales you have per dollar. Or you basically take like how many people it's sent to your website or how many people have converted the sale versus the total amount that sale is converted, and then it can give you the return on the ad spend. But then to find out how much ad spend you need to figure out how much profit that you make per sale. And then you need to make sure that the amount of profit that you make per sale the amount of money you spend for advertising does not exceed the amount of money that you make per sale. Right? Because you don't want to spend $1,000 in advertising and only make $10 in profit.
Profits, yeah.
Yeah. You want to spend $1,000 in advertising and make $10,000 in profit, or even $2,000 in profit, or $3,000, right? Because this is all automated and shit, right? So imagine, in the case of like a system where you're drop shipping or stuff, where you're not even touching the product, if you are making a profit of say $5,000 and you spent $2,000 to get it, and you didn't have to do anything because the ads did all the work, you're making $3,000 in your sleep. You could sleep all day. You know what I mean? And maybe work 20 minutes. And this stuff runs on autopilot. And really and truly, like us as Black people, we need to start looking at ways to structure not only our businesses, but our whole lives. So that, like, this is how the rich make money. They develop ways to earn passive income. This is how they get their freedom. You know what I mean? They invest in certain things. They don't buy fancy clothes or shoes, but that comes later. Like, that comes later. Like, build the machine first, get the machine running, and then you can flaunt and show off. But what a lot of the times they do is they want like it's a marathon. Like Nipsey Hussle was right. It's a marathon, not a race, right? And the bigger you build the foundation, the faster you'll get up to that top. You know what I mean? If you spend it like, and I say this too, partly because I look back at my life and I'm like, fuck, if I had taken some of that money that I was like partying with or going out to hang out with my friends or eating all these expensive dinners and shit that I did, yeah, I had a great time, great experiences and stuff. But if I had taken the money that I had done then and didn't even spend it and just tucked it away for when opportunities came up that I had the money to take advantage of that opportunity, I would have had more opportunity, like more wins underneath my belt, and those wins would have propelled my income so that I could sit on the beach and do shit. You know what I mean? And eat bonbons and go to parties and stuff like that. It's like we're doing it like ass backwards. Like we're trying to eat our dessert first and our food later, and want to cook our food later. And then you don't end up cooking your food. You just eat all your dessert. You know where I'm going with that. So yeah, I hope,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But that's for us. That's my goal in the next few years is to build up these businesses, get to the point where they're sort of building passive income and they're running on autopilot. And the only thing work that's really required from me is just my thoughts. And then I'm going to start building some other businesses and stuff. You know, I think there's a market for, you know, getting more supplies out of St. Lucia. Like you said, you have a hard time getting good quality sour something. You know what I mean? There's other products too that people want to be able to get it from someone at a fair price that they can trust. You know what I mean? So I feel like there needs to be more of these genuine quality suppliers, and maybe hopefully I can play that kind of role, and it will spawn some activity in the space. Maybe even like encourage more people to come into it, and even get them to have better quality standards. Do you know what I mean? Because if I come into a space and I start doing stuff, and I'm all for people kind of like copying what I do, and you know what I mean, sort of like competing with me. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if it gets too crowded, I just leave the room. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. I go somewhere else. I'll build another room. You know what I mean? And if I can build more rooms that allow more St. Lucians to come in and enjoy the party, then I don't mind like having to like kind of like leave the party and leave it to other people to enjoy to go start a new party somewhere else. So that you know what I mean? Like that's kind of how like bees work, right? When the hive gets too big, you know, the queen bee, you know, they breed a new bee. That bee takes over, and they go and start a new hive. You know, so I'm all for that. And so, like I said, if people follow me, then they're going to have to operate as good or better than me in order to beat.
Yeah.
Right. And if I set a high enough wall, then the industry is going to do better. And then if the industry does better, everybody wins. You know what I mean? And they now can have the enjoyment of saying, "Hey, I was a part of this, and I helped influence it." And I go in and use that confidence to go start another one. Hey, what's up,
Yusuf? Holding up the door. What's
up? I'm there, chilling, just talking philosophical shit. You know what I mean? That's it. How you doing? What state are you in right now? Missouri, eh?
I'm breathing out here in Missouri.
Oh, nice. It's all the snow's melted out here, but it is like windy. What a shit. Mm-hmm. So, hey, Reginald, getting back to before we were talking about the herbs, what other stuff besides moringa, sour soft leaf, other things that you would, you know, and even some produce. Is there any produce that you want that you find hard to get?
Well, lately I've been looking into lemons because of the juice, like the Seamoss juice that I came out with. We have like strawberry lemonade, peach lemonade, elderberry lemonade, hibiscus lemonade. And so fucking the grocery stores out here, they charge like $3 for $1 for lemonade. So that's what I've been looking for, like wholesale on lemon, where they charge $3 for $1 for lemon. So that's what I've been looking for, like a wholesaler on the lemons out here. I think the cheapest I found was like 18 cents per lemon. But other than that, like most of the herbs that I look for, they're pretty much easier to find. Like I said, outside of soursop.
What about hibiscus? That's easy to get too.
Yeah, hibiscus pretty easy to get to.
Which one?
Is there different ones?
Yeah, the sorrel. Oh, because I've been looking for, you have the sorrel, which is always hard, and that's the one a lot of people use. They use for cakes and desserts and stuff. And you have the one that bloom out into like regular flower. But I guess they have like hibiscus and you have sorrel or something like that. And they have hibiscus that's in the Bahamas, which is really, really small. And I've been trying to look for that one because when I went to the Bahamas, that's the one I was eating straight off the tree. Like I was just pulling the roses off the tree and eating. And
straight like that.
Yeah, I didn't even notice, but everybody else saw me in the van. I was like slumped over. They was like, man, look at this dude here. And they was like, man, why you like that? Slumped over. I was like, damn, I didn't even notice. I'm like, man, she really got me feeling good. I'm like, I don't got no work. I was like, my nerves not even like nothing. I was chilling.
It was just
because like I was in the seat, bro. If you would have sucked it, bro, you'd have been laughing. But they was like, man, that just got you feeling good. I was like, yeah, I didn't notice it because it's not a high. It's not even like a mellow. It's just your nerves are just like
relax.
You relax. It's not like you sleep or nothing. It's just like you at your finest.
Yeah, just no worries. Just everything kind of blocked out, kind of.
Yeah, and that's the. I've been trying to get that, but they don't grow that like to sell and teas and shit like that. It's only in the Bahamas. But I've been looking for that hibiscus.
The hibiscus the website that I get mine from, they get theirs from Nigeria. The hibiscus sabdarifa, that's the botanical name for it, but they get theirs from Nigeria. Okay. But just to it kind of reminded me, like how you said that, like no worries feeling, like not like a sedative, like. But I made a tea last night. I mixed lavender, St. John's wort, chamomile, and one other herb I want to say, and it had me feeling that same way. It wasn't like I was up like researching all night, but it was like no worries. It was like I wasn't just sleepy, but when I did go to sleep, it was like just sleep, like good sleep. And that kind of reminded me of how you said, like it was just like just cool, like no stress, like nothing, just like Hakuna Matata, like just no worries. Yeah.
Like that hibiscus go good with the star anise. What's the other one? Like clover. It go good with a few things and passion fruit. The passion fruit flower. Passion fruit flower, it go good with those, and like you'll be like really like mellow and just chilling. But those go real good together.
You say passion fruit flower.
Yeah. Writing that down.
Fruit flower, hibiscus, and star anise. And like the clove is real good, so I'm not sure if you like. I chew on the clove by itself, and that kind of like calms you down too. You kind of have that numbing feeling too when you chew on.
Yeah, definitely. Even because I use that in my elderberry syrup. And even like when I'm boiling it, like you can smell like it. The smell of it kind of give it that warming, like numbing kind of smell, like even around the house. Like you can smell that over everything else. And it's like even just the smallest pieces of cloves, you can definitely feel that warming sensation.
Nice. So, Yusuf, are there any herbs that you are looking for that you find hard to get, or even items? I'm trying to explain my product line. I wanted to start moving into more stuff besides Seamoss.
The stuff that I'm trying to find, it might be something that might be a little impossible to get. Cause like the herbs I go into is like real deep. I can't even talk about them because nobody knows what the hell they are. And the herbs I want to deal with focus on men health or just men as far as like men hormones or just like the things that we need to help us once we get a certain age and shit like that. And it's basically like the Bob on day, but the stuff I'm talking about is like way different. You know, and I can't get the stuff from Africa. Some of the things I don't even know the name. I know what they are.
Yeah.
And I know certain basically like if you look into African history, they do a lot of things with herbs and a lot of things deal with manhood. And they know they have a lot of stuff down there that they do that a lot of people in the US will pay you big money for. You know, and it's like just their tradition down there. They deal with different herbs, but those herbs I know I just can't get my hands on them. I have pictures of them, and because I actually made PDFs of all of the stuff, and you know, as far as like sausage fruit, which is a big ass fruit that look like a sausage hanging from the tree.
Yeah.
Call it, you know, and you know what it's for. So when you see it, you know, that's what that's for. But they make cream with it. You know, they make different things, and you can actually take it as well if you know how to process. If it's processed right, you can take it. It's I don't know what herb it is or what herbs they mix with it. But it's some stuff in Africa they call bitterstone. And bitterstone is this black tar. And I guess it's some type of sap from different herbs that's really burnt all the way down until it turns into like just a burnt like sticky tar. And it kind of reminds you of what's this other black stuff that they get from the mountains, it's fermented plants under the mountain. The mountain squeezes black stuff out, shellagin or something like that.
Oh, Silliget?
Yeah, and this stuff in Africa they call bitterstone. I'm not sure if it has some of that in it or what, but I actually have a bitterstone at home, and I actually have the stuff that you mix it with, and it helps you lose weight. It helps blockage in the urinary tract. Like it helps with a lot of stuff, and that's the stuff if men have a problem or women dealing with sexual organs and shit like that. That's the stuff you take first to clean your system out. And then you start on a regimen of the other herbs, you know, if a woman want to get pregnant or if a man has a low sperm count, he can take all of this stuff as well, and she can take it to help her. But I have this stuff at home, but I want to send it to a lab because I want to know what's in it.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my thing. I have all of the stuff at home right now, but I just can't get it to a lab. I want to know what the bitter stone is. That's my biggest thing. The other stuff I actually have at home in the cabinet, when I get home, I can take pictures of it. I get it from that. Some of the stuff I get from African import, and some of the stuff I get directly from an herbalist in Africa with the woman. She makes videos on YouTube. You know, and yeah, I have to show you the herbs, but they're real tricky and it's hard to get. But I was taking some of them out here, and when I tell you, it produces. It makes you produce too much.
Wow.
It makes you like no plan. Like serious shit. It makes you produce so much to the point where it's like, nah, I can't take it because it's just gonna come out by itself, basically. That's
so were you like having wet dreams or something?
I
said, were you having like wet dreams or something?
No, it's not like that. No, it's just gonna come out. It's not you're not aroused or nothing. You be like, oh man, I got to go use the bathroom. I'm about to go pee, and you start being like, what is all this other shit? And you know, it made you overproduce. So I was checking. I was like, man, I can't take this stuff. You know, and it's all kind of different herbs that you know. We can take is herbs that they have this herb. I don't know what it would be considered as. It's not really like a plant. It's not like a fungus or whatever. Like you would have to see these things. And a lot of them look exactly like the body part that they help. So you know, but yeah, like I was taking a few different herbs at the same time, and I was like, yeah, these things together is good but horrible at the same time because you know what it makes you overproduce.
Yeah. But that might be good for some people.
Yeah. Some people
it's not bad.
Underproduction.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. But. Bro, I can show you these herbs and shit like that, and I actually have like pictures and I have the names written down and stuff like that because I was looking into a lot of these herbs, and there's one company that deal with a few of them. But yeah, like that's my biggest thing, trying to get herbs that help with reproductive system because I haven't had kids yet. My wife haven't had kids, so that's the biggest thing for me right now is to try to have kids.
But have you spoken to doctors about sort of what the issues are and stuff like that that's prohibiting that or no?
Yeah, like I have to go to the doctor, you know, just to do sperm count and all that type of shit. Other than that, I don't want I don't want them to give me a goddamn one.
Yeah.
I hear you. You know, I'll do it like my people do in the Bahamas, and I'll deal with them because it's two herbs, two tonics they have that's really like shit. Man, is good. So, you know, those herbs in the Bahamas, you know, I'll take those. It's just kind of pricey, you know, but it'll be worth it because I already saw how they work, you know, and I know they work. You know.
Well, I think by the end of this, like in 2 years from now, I'm going to check up on you, and you're going to have like an army.
I'm like, I'm gonna be crying. I should have why I gotta tell me?
That should have to be a couple of years for you to have an army. But, you know what I mean.
But yeah, bro. You know, I'm gonna have to, get into the Seamoss stuff, bro. I'm gonna do it too, bro.
Mhm.
I might as well because New Orleans, bro, they charging too much, and I ain't about paying $18 for no Seamoss food. Think is my, I mean, I ain't about paying that.
How much?
God damn.
$18 and shit, man.
For what, the gel?
$18 for just a tablespoon in the smoothie.
Fruits. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm not. Let me tell you something, bro. How I look at Seamoss, the gel, you'll be surprised how cheap I sell my gel. If I tell people how much I sell my gel for, they'll be pissed off at me. Because they're like, man, you fucking the market up.
Yeah.
And that's my whole thing. Like, I already know how, 32 ounces would be my biggest. 32 ounces, that's the only amount of gel I sell. Unless you have a special order. But 32 ounces of gel, that's, I used to buy that shit for like $20. I used to get it for $20. From a guy from I used to buy it in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
So, man, I'll be killing people in New Orleans with that gel. You're like, man, he got it for wholesale.
Yeah, that's the wholesale price.
Yeah. I just don't like how people like, they overcharge you in New Orleans for it. Like, it's extremely overcharged. I mean, I don't know how much y'all say y'all gel for, but nah, man. Like, it's like a tablespoon in a smoothie, $18.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's way overpriced.
Shit,
I mean, shit, you can damn near get a whole jar. You can damn near get a whole jar of Seamoss for $18.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
But what are you getting for besides the smoothie? You're getting for $18. You're getting all the fruits and everything that make the smoothie, right? How much is the smoothie
Yeah, but
without the Seamoss? $15.
Probably the same price. But no, you don't sell it without the Seamoss in it. But it's like, bro, I can go get big two smoothies from Smoothie King and put fucking Seamoss in it. I could get 2 large smoothies for that. So it's like, bro, like y'all gotta like you can't, you shouldn't do that. Like y'all overcharging people for it. Because people want Seamoss, and it's like, nah, bro, like y'all was doing this shit before the pandemic. So it's just no need for that price, bro. Like not New Orleans, bro.
You can run them up some competition, or what you can even do is you can sell it wholesale, sell it cheap enough for them to buy it off you. And then,
that's my plan. I'm trying to do all of it.
Yeah, and then you just sell a whole bunch. I know a
guy.
Yeah,
it's not gonna make them lower their prices though. But I sell it to them and they'll do. But I mean, I got a lot of equipment right now. I used to work in a restaurant, so a lot of my shit is free.
Yeah. There you go. You know what I mean? The equipment like helps speed up a lot of the time and like labor.
Yeah, so I got a food processor, and I have a the hand mixer, the immersion mixer. It looks like a fucking cannon you're holding.
Yeah.
Blend up a pot of soup. I have like the big one. So I can make gel. Like I can make gel super fast. So if I had like 32-gallon pot with Seamoss in it, put a little warm water in it, blend it up, that's jail.
You do it, man. I'm telling you, wholesaler. Like, there's a guy I know. He sells the Seamoss by the case.
That's what I was trying to tell you to do. Before I was like, bro, why I was like, let's get you. But you said you don't want to deal with jail, huh?
Yeah. But honestly, I've been thinking about it, and it's part of it is because I feel like no one's really taking advantage of the market, and at least not here in Toronto. There's a few guys, but even these guys, I'm just like how hard are you usually hustling,
And that might be the thing there, it's like you say that hustle. Like, I know for me, jumping into this was so easy because of, kind of already having that hustler ambition. So it's like, okay, well, you know how to go get the customers, you know how to go do this, you know how to, like, even some days when I get in the kitchen and dropping the Seamoss on the scale, and it's like, oh, shit, like, kind of shoot me back a little bit. But some people probably just seen the opportunity for Seamoss and don't even have the, I guess, hustler background to even, get that clientele like need be.
It takes work, man. It's not easy. Makes me wonder how many people are sitting on 10, 20 pounds and can't sell it because they realize too late that the energy and the work that's required to kind of scale it to be a bigger business. But you really put your mind to it. I truly believe that you can turn this easily into, well, I wouldn't say easily, with a lot of work and dedication and consistently, you can turn this business almost guaranteed into like a full-time business, enough that you can make profit $4,000 to $5,000 a month.
Yeah, it's just about marketing. If you can market stuff and you understand the algorithm of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you can make money. You also have to make a business profile on Google and on Yelp. So when they search you, your stuff can come up. And you have to take advantage of Pinterest. Because remember, the pictures that come on Google and all those other search engines, those are pictures from Pinterest. So y'all have to understand you have to use all those things at the same time. That's how you market. And a lot of people, when you don't understand the algorithm, when you don't constantly post pictures on all platforms, because remember, they have to be linked. You don't have to put links on Facebook and stuff like that, but as far as the pictures and advertising, you have to kind of do things in sync,
But I find that's if that's where you want to find your crowd. But there's other ways to get people to buy into your product without having to do any social media. You know what I mean? I know a lot of guys that I sell to that don't even have a website, and they're buying 50, 60 pounds at the same time. What's up, Lulu?
But you're talking about strictly in their neighborhood and stuff, right?
But why not? There's a huge. I don't understand why people aren't trying to sell it in their neighborhood. That's a huge under tapped market.
But what I was basically speaking about was just the internet. But in your own community and city and stuff, definitely you can make money doing it. But a lot of things is moving to the internet, so that's cool too. Plus, you don't really need brick and mortar to do that shit, so there's no overhead over the internet. Unless you need storage, the only thing you should pay for if you have a website is storage and a commercial kitchen. Because eventually you're going to need a commercial kitchen to produce your product.
Yeah, that's what point I'm getting to, because it's definitely definitely getting to that point where this little kitchen here is getting too small.
But see, that's where I was talking earlier about like how at some point the business industry needs to kind of like amalgamate like certain things where it's like not everybody has their own commercial kitchen. You know what I mean? Maybe one of them sets up a kitchen that everybody gets to use, or one guy makes the stuff for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like if we all had to spend the time to build a kitchen, you know what I mean? That's money that some of us could have used to build something else, build more marketing, build better market share. That's why like I'm toying about like you say I should make it, but it's almost like if I do it, I'm gonna do it like on a wholesale level. Yeah, to support independent sellers. Maybe these barbershop guys or guys at health food stores or whatever that want the gel but don't want to make it themselves. And yeah, the gel goes.
You need to put a link on top of this. You need to put a link on top of your page.
And put what?
A link.
Of what?
Link of what at the top of the page.
For my website?
Yeah, you can link your website to this room.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I should, but I don't. You know what? Honestly, I don't do these to really try and hope to get sales. If a sale happens, then God brought it to me, and I'm blessed. Do you know what I mean? But for the most part, mm-hmm, this is more about doing something that no one else is doing. Really, you know what I mean? No one's doing these live streams like this. No one's talking about Seamoss on all platforms openly, candidly, without any fear about this. Do you know what I mean? And so, in some ways, what I believe that will happen is that more people will start becoming comfortable doing this. Okay, more people are coming in here to talk to me, are becoming more comfortable with themselves, and now are starting to do their own thing. The more those people do that, the more the market expands, the more people are buying Seamoss. Do you know what I mean? And so I realize that the position that I'm in and the ability, the space that I have the ability to step into, it's better for me to play the role. Like I'm more into the long game. I see this as like I'm in it, like balls deep or whatever you want to call it. I'm in it. Like my whole life is invested in it. And so I see the long term play where it's like if I can help everybody figure out ways to expand their market and get more into selling, then eventually some of that's going to land on my desk and I'm going to sell more Seamoss. I was saying this to the Reginald, like the guy needs to call me every week. You know what I mean? And just pick my brain. That's my job, literally. Like at the company, my job is to, you know what I mean? Be there to support you in any way you can. I can. With knowledge, information, experience, advice, whatever. You know what I mean? Even just someone to bounce ideas to. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the more Seamoss you sell, the better it is. And ultimately, my why for doing this, the whole reason why I'm in Seamoss is because I want to create more opportunities for St. Lucians. I want to show St. Lucians how easy it is to come in and do this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, like, and I'm not saying this to brag, but look where I am right now today, right? Look what I'm selling. Look at the following that I developed on the Facebook and stuff. And know that I started this with $2,000 Canadian money 2 years ago. Now, I think I could have built it bigger. I could have done more. But the fact is that most people, if people saw me at the beginning and what I planned to do, they would have thought it was crazy. but it's because they've convinced themselves that it's not possible. But it's easier than you think. You just got to put the work in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And by me showing you that this is the work you got to put in, you realize, oh fuck, it's not that bad. He does some live streams. He does this. He does. You know what I mean? Like, so I say, I don't mind people following behind me. I want them to follow me because I know when the room gets too crowded, I'm okay. I can leave. I'll start a new business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm already working on the ideas already, so that when the space gets big, I'll go into real estate. That's why sometimes I laugh, like when some of these people go, "Oh, you're in it just to sell Seamoss." I could care less. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. I don't want to say I could care less. That's not true. I care about every customer that buys Seamoss from me. That would be, I'm full of shit when I say that. But what I mean is that if I wanted to make money, I wouldn't be doing any of this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be doing live streams. We wouldn't be talking about Seamoss. We wouldn't. I would be just studying and figuring in new ways and creating ads and you know what I mean? Going to shows or whatever and not even getting into the controversy about, wildcrafted or farmed or any of that.
Yeah.
That is the biggest joke right there. You telling
Yeah.
me that I'm doing this to sell more Seamoss. If I was doing it to sell more Seamoss, I would just keep my mouth shut and sell more Seamoss.
Yeah, the rocks in a box.
Yeah, why am I rocking the boat? Right? Why am I rocking the boat? It's because I've been there and I saw the truth. And I see that the lies that are being shown right now when it comes to that information, it's hurting people. And it's making it harder for them to do business properly. All those people would want to tell the truth. But it's because people don't want to go out and do their due diligence, and they want to listen to second and third hand information, and they go on like that's fact, and then you know what I mean. That causes all this confusion and disruption in the marketplace. Like the amount of time I spend trying to explain to people why there is no difference, and then when I spend the time and I show them logically, you know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, that. All I gotta tell them is say, well, not every rock has 92 minerals. And they're like, okay. So I'm like, okay, so then where is all the 92 minerals coming from? What are those 92 minerals? Why has no one ever found those 92 minerals? If that is just a known, do you know what I mean? Anyways, let us not get into let's not beat a dead horse. You can go back on many live streams and listen to me rant. Oh, wow, crap. But at the end of the day, it's like we're wasting so much. Ricky said that before from Seamoss. We're wasting all this time arguing over petty stuff while the man is getting ready to steal the show.
To take over.
And
yep, that's something that people can see. They're not paying attention to it. Yep. But yeah, they try to take over that market, which if they take it over, I don't know if the price is going to go up or the price is going to go down. That's the thing. No. Because if the prices go down, then you're fucked. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, if they go up, a lot of people is fucked. True. You're going to be forced to say it's Seamoss for $1 a pound. Fuck all that. You better add water to it. For real, bro. But that's the thing. If you can, if we can organize ourselves and sort of like, I guess, push ourselves into, controlling more of this space, it's going to be harder for these companies to come in and exact their will. And furthermore, like, the more that they don't learn or understand the information, the easier it is for these people to just kind of say something to them and then be like, well, no, you know what I mean? Because they don't know better and they don't care to know better. You know what I mean? They're not comfortable knowing better.
or different, or just even looking to see what the true answer is. Like, oh, this is what it is. Okay. You know, I don't know. At the end of the day, I want to do what I can whenever I can to help anybody, especially Black people, um, to help them succeed in this business, because I'm not fueled by money as much as I'm fueled by, like, I get a high off watching, being a part of changing people's lives. Do you know what I mean? And so if I can do something or be a part of something that is going to life change your life, like whether it, like, helps you health wise, or opens doors because you now have more money. You know what I mean? Like, there was one time, like, we helped this guy set up a Seamoss farm, and, like, he was, like, just wasn't doing well with his family, and, like, didn't have the best job, and wasn't looking like whether it was true or not, he felt like he was not contributing as he should be in his position. Do you know what I mean? And so to be able to get this opportunity to create this farm that's now his, and he can hand down to his children. And even when we were there setting it up, it's like now his children are there with him on the beach playing. The young son is learning what, he's doing. And that's going to keep that kid off the street. Do you know what I mean? That's going to make that kid think twice when his friends are, like, telling him, hey, let's go sell this shit, blah, 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 blah. He'd be like, fuck no, I don't need to do that. I can go sell Seamoss. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, that's the changes that I want to do. I could care less about the dollar. You know what I mean? If I want to make dollars, I'll go sell a house. Like, today I signed a contract to sell this lady's house for $2 million. I get 2%, 2.5% out of that $2 million. You know what I mean? So that's like, it has nothing to do with money for me. You know what I mean? And so the more Seamoss that gets sold in St. Lucia, whether it's by my hands or someone's hands, that to me is a blessing. Because that means more money, more employment, more opportunities, more advantages. You know what I mean? And more people will see other people get successful. And I would rather see them chase Seamoss than chase, like, the local drug dealer. And I've watched, especially in the last 2 years, too much violence, too much issues. You know what I mean? Just unnecessary. So got a little emotional there. I miss St. Lucian. I need to get back there. Yeah.
You gonna go back soon?
Yeah. I actually have a vacation booked in June, but I don't know if I'm going to try and go there before. I'm hoping that this quarantine mandate, I was saying it yesterday. It's, like, so mean to say it, but one of the best things that could have happened to COVID was this war with Russia. And so it's like, you know what I mean? Everybody's kind of like, what's COVID? You know what I mean? No one cares about COVID anymore. They're all focused on Ukraine and helping Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey gonna come back with a vengeance once they finish doing what they're doing.
I hope not.
They got the new variant, Putin variant, going out.
So it says, Cleanmoss says, the different type of Seamoss on your site blends the same, like, consistency. Yeah, for the most part. Oh, I'm not sure what you mean by the different types. Like, if you mean by the different colors and stuff, no. Well, yes. For the most part, they blend around the same. But I think that the purple and the green, you'll find that it's more stronger in the smell and in the taste of the ocean. And so it's just going to be hotter in the system. But interesting enough, I haven't tried the color in so long that I was like, you know what, I should try and do something. Maybe I'll take some green. Like I'll take some green every day for the next like 2 weeks and see how I feel. I could use a good detox. There's so much crap up here. And I've been eating a lot of way more fast food than I was when I was in St. Lucia. Hey, look, Envision Moss is here. He's the one I was.
Y'all need to shut a room at the bottom.
What?
I said shut a room at the bottom.
Share the room at the bottom?
Yeah, there's a button right next to the chat button. Share it. When you press it, you share it to Clubhouse. That means you recommend the room to, because they got a lot of people on here that be talking about Seamoss and stuff. Well, not a lot. I mean, people that know about it, but they don't really talk about it.
Share the room? Where would I find share the room again?
Yes, it did.
Right next down at the bottom, say chat, and you see the three little lines, like the little, I don't even know what the hell that is, but it's the link sign right next to clip.
So I have the clip.
Right chat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you click that, you can share it to Clubhouse, share it on Clubhouse, or you can share it on Twitter, Facebook, and stuff like that.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, that way you can, people can see it while they're on here. Because if it's the club, most likely you can't see the club if you haven't shared. Okay. I share it.
Let me see if I can share it on Facebook.
You can share it everywhere. They got Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, I think. And then you got to share it on Clubhouse. That way, you always be friends with whoever follows me or whatever.
Let's see what happens.
I've been noticing every time somebody go on a room, people actually share it.
What the hell happened?
That way, more people.
Someone like fucking hacked into my account. What? In my Instagram.
What you mean?
What the? Someone, it's got someone. Oh, don't tell me that. Oh man, I think someone has logged into my Instagram and taken over my account.
Yeah, I just looked at your account, so you on it. What you mean? You sure you didn't get the bad word?
Yeah, it says it's likely that your account was compromised as a result of entering your password on a website designed to look. Oh, wow.
In order for you to get your account back, you got to put the damn driver's license in there. Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is whack. I wonder. Let me see if I'm still logged in.
Logged in though, right?
No. I can't log in. Wow. Yeah, like right in the middle of doing a live stream. They must have been like sending messages to people or something stupid. And so it looks like they put some S number and like some number that's totally not mine as a way to verify the account. And so I can't, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers. But what's crazy is that like you'd think you would give me the original. Like this is what's fucked up about these guys. Okay, so you've checked and seen right that my account's been compromised, and so you're asking me to send the information to verify who I am, but you're giving me the information that's currently in the account and asking me to prove myself. Do you see where that is? Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing. I can't do the forgot the password because they whatchamacallit? They have the email address is going to the hacker's address. Whoever hacked my account. Mother, it's so whack. Oh well. I guess I gotta do like St.Lucian Seamoss 2. What was that? That you made a sale? That's a badass one.
Well, one of that on my phone in a MacBook, but it's a nice one, except when it's like 6 o'clock in the morning and it's going off. It's like, what the fuck?
It's so crazy too, yeah. You always wonder, like, what the fuck are you guys thinking ordering at this hour of the night?
Like, I got orders at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Like, what were you doing? I get them a lot late at night. I guess these guys, they get all like, you know, can't sleep.
So what's your number on Instagram? Because I see a 647 number on it.
Yeah, 647-628-9736. But I guess the number on the account or whatever is different. Yeah, totally right. Well, I don't know what to do.
You might just have to call. You definitely don't want nobody doing shit on the account.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm in my other account and I'm like looking it up to see if it's even active. I was expecting to like log in and have them like already been messaging me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, uh, you know, we want to know if you want to do this or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they wanted you to join some conference or some kind of what is it that they get you to do? They want you to some money plan, some grant. You know what I mean? Like there's this government giving out a grant. They say, and you're supposed to like fill out the form to get it, and that's when you screw.
It's always something.
Well, the account looks okay.
It looks all right.
The account looks good, but I wonder, like, how do they get? And the thing is, I don't remember logging into any link about Instagram or anything.
No, it don't gotta be like how they get your information is when you get new apps, when you download new apps and stuff like that on your phone. That's how they get your information, especially if you use the same passcode.
Oh no, that's weird.
Like all those real apps that people download,
They be selling your information and shit.
Yeah, well, that sucks. But you know what? Maybe I need a break from Instagram for a bit.
Yourself, what do you usually go to study or research mostly that you look into? You talking to me?
Yeah.
I look up a lot of let me I look up a lot of different names. You have to know the Latin name of herbs.
Yeah.
You have to know the origin of them. And remember, it's always multiple herbs that have the same name and can be from different countries, but they're not the same herb. But like I start with the books, Google, but Google isn't a good source at all for nothing, when it comes down to herbs and stuff. But you have to know like the original name, the Latin name, and like the common names and stuff like that, scientific names, the genus of the plant, the family and stuff. And India has a good library of herbs. And if you look to, if you know somebody that's an herbalist and they went to school and they have access to like a database of herbs, some from like India, if they went to school, then they can give you a lot of information because they have a database that only they can use. And they actually document all the herbs and stuff like that, which we don't have access to that type of stuff. But your best bet is to go into like Barnes and Noble and look in all those different books. Yeah. And, even if you're not buying it, just go up in there and read them and just remember the names and stuff like that. And that's what I do. I look at a lot of documentaries too. Like a lot of African documentaries when they talk about herbs and stuff like that. And when National Geographic was really National Geographic and Discovery was Discovery, they used to have nice stuff on it.
Yeah, now they just reality TV. It's like what happened to the natural, like what happened to nature, like not even nature no more.
It's all about the big fish. Gillian catch. But like
that's what I used this the book that you told me about, the Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine. Like I use that one, but then it's like I want to get like deeper, like
you're gonna have to get the thick ass books that they sell in the stores, no pictures, no nothing. And it's gonna be thick. I'm talking about thick. It's gonna be like thick like 2 dictionaries. Those books may cost you around $600. The real herbal medicine books is gonna cost you around $600. You have to look at, I think it's called Ayurvedic medicine. You have to look into those categories too. It may be hard, but you can find real good books in that category. A lot of the tincture books aren't good. You have to look to get books that deal with a lot of what are they called? Is these particular herbs and mushrooms and roots that's adaptogens. Look into adaptogens because adaptogens isn't regular herbs or it's not regular like mushrooms and stuff. Adaptogens, people still don't really understand how adaptogens work because adaptogens, once they get in your body, they adapt to help you in areas where you need help at. They adapt to whatever wrong with you. So that's why they call it adaptogens. But I was looking to adaptogens too because they kind of lead you in an area where they only talk about herbs and plants that's adaptogens. And you understand where to put them at. And you have to learn about herb,
like they
chemical
compound for it. So
yeah. So a lot of those books, they're gonna teach you a lot. Then you're gonna have to get into the age and study of herbs, which their stuff is real deep and long. But they use more than just herbs. They might use turtle shell with their herbs and thyme. They may use snake skin. They use everything. And it's proven to work, regardless of if you believe in using animal parts or not. So that's something, you need to get into because they have a deep level of understanding herbs as well. And I have websites that you can go to look up their herbs too. I have a lot of websites. And then I try to put the best websites that actually deal with the herbs. I try to keep all those websites that really deal with the herbs, like start with Botanicals, Mountain Road, the Florida Herb House. You have other companies that actually put out an annual report of the herbs and stuff like that. Like the best company as far as companies out here, I guess, where you can get the chocolate from that has less because everything is tainted right now. Everything is tainted because the world isn't what it used to be. So the chocolate has a lot of what is this stuff called? Damn, it slipped my damn tongue. It's basically a damn poison, but you can't really get away from it because a lot of stuff has been contaminated. But at least they put out an annual report of what's in it and everything that's in it because that's what that company strives for, like Mountain Road and shit. So it's
that's who I would get my herbs from. Mountain Rose Herbs. That's how I go.
Yeah, and
start with botanical a few times.
Yeah, and they have more herbs than you think. They don't list them. So if you talk to them and get a wholesale account, they can actually link you in with more herbs that that they have up there. It's a website that only deal with Asian type of herbal medicine, which I learned a lot from looking at their website. I learned a lot by having their book and their catalog. I will order all their catalogs. You can learn how to search some herbs, search herbs and kind of understand the herbs from getting the catalog as well. And they have another book. It's a book from the Bahamas. I actually have the PDF and the hard copy. I forgot what it's called, man, but that's a really good book. I'm trying to remember. It's this other book I ordered. I think it's but it's one of these books. I ordered the other one off Amazon. I'm not sure if I sent you a picture of that one or I sent a picture to somebody. But that one is real good on making tinctures. And you have the National Geographic book, right?
No, I didn't get that one. I got the encyclopedia, Andrew Chevalier or something like that.
Oh, and that's
you told me about two of them. No,
yeah, because one teaches you how to make tinctures, soaps, ointments, and salves, and lotion and shit. You don't have that one,
I think this one because I had got another book from him a while back, like when I just first started looking into herbs. Yeah, this one it teach you how to grow the plants, teach you how to make the tinctures, infusions, the wines and syrups, capsules,
I would say get both of them. I would say get both of them because both of them have good information, and it wouldn't hurt to have both of them. So, like, I would, I would definitely
those kind of hand in hand.
Use them hand in hand. And it's the other book. It's the other book called Healing Herbs of Jamaica and Common Medical Plants of Portland. Those two books are pretty good too. If you want to deal with herbs from Jamaica.
Yeah, because I'm starting to realize, like the herbs we have here, like in Western civilization, and ones they have in other parts are like different, big time different, different. So yeah, if I want to look into like you say, like the African herbs, like they don't sell none of the African herbs here. Well, they don't sell majority of the African herbs here. So you want to start getting into.
I can give you information on how to get those. Well, African imports is a good place. Is a good place to start. And it's this woman. I can send you her WhatsApp information, but it's high, bro. Like it's man, that shit, man.
I still can't believe my account got hacked. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I just hear in the background, like tick, 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 tick.
Oh yeah, I'm
like on that keyboard, just going.
Fuck. Yeah, man. Trying to get it back, it's gone. But what's crazy? It's like while I'm doing the live stream, you know what I mean? They get access to my account. Like, how is that possible?
I just sent you 3 different books. 2 of them are the same, but one is $89 right now, and that one that shit was $600 a few months ago.
Okay.
But the second, I think it's a second edition or whatever. 2 of those books are the same book. I'm not sure if it's slightly different, but I have both. I have all 3 of them. But yeah, 2 of them are made by the same book. One is just published by a different company. I guess the woman got other company to publish her information and stuff. But those books are good if you're looking to, learn how to make simple tinctures and herbal combinations and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get into. That's what I'm getting into is, start trying to make these teas and like you said, tinctures and different little salves and stuff like that. So yeah, can't be out here just giving anybody anything.
Yeah, did you say you had Layla Africa book or single?
Yeah, I was the one that said I got that book.
Oh, you have Layla Africa book, How to Diagnose Yourself?
Yep.
Yeah, that book is cool too. Like that book is detailed. Like that book is detailed, bro.
Yeah, I like that because you can tell, like even the pictures in there, you can tell that he sat there and drew those pictures. Like
yeah, he took his time.
Like this is how this goes and this that. Like first glance, like when I first got it and I first looked at it, I was like, what the fuck is all of this? But then like he breaks it like all the way down, like the whole human anatomy, the structure, just what this goes with this, like It's like, you know, how you can lose how you can lose so much energy doing this, and you know, everything is that one get deep. That one get real deep.
Yeah,
Wicked. Wicked. All these different herbs. What?
Have you ever heard of the almond cow?
Almond cow?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you check that out. It's a machine that that can make the milk for you. It's called the almond cow. It's, I guess a pretty good machine. Because they have one for your house and they have one that would be considered commercial. But yeah, it's real cool. That's if you, you know, if you want to invest in that type of shit. Because I know you were saying you something about you wanted to make milk or something. I know it was something we were talking about last time, but you say you get the milk from a company or something.
Yeah, trying to stay away from the cow milk. Almond cow, O-M-E.
Yeah. It's not like cow milk. No, they just call it the almond.
Oh, almond, like the
yeah, man, I'm
the nut.
I sent you the link on Instagram.
I thought when I heard it too, I caught it. I thought it was a pretty cool play on words, you know.
Man, I was just out there in New Orleans not too long ago. I'm right here in Texas, and like I do roofing also. You know, so we've been out there back and forth, you know, working on the roofs and everything. The storm hit back in September or August. Ida, I think it was Ida. So we've been back and forth out there.
Sorry, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm like doing a little bit of reconnaissance research, trying to find. Yeah, I'm trying to find different companies in St. Lucia that I can sort of like partner up with and start exporting their products. Some of them even just not like really in pertains to health food or anything. Like there's a company I found on the island that's making craft beer, and so they have a passion fruit ale, right? Which is pretty cool. Like no one has that. You know what I mean? I wonder, like, could we sell that in North American markets? Can I, like, you know, invest in buying a couple cases and then try and ship it up here? You know what I mean? Who knows? Like I said, there's so much opportunity. Like, you know, I was almost still probably going to do it, but I've been looking at starting an ice factory in St. Lucia.
You gonna be they gonna crown you king over there after a while.
Dude, I'll run for. I joke around. I say I run for prime minister. Yeah. I run for prime minister, and I'd fix that island for sure. Half their problem is that they fight. Like, I mean, sorry, not their problem. What I see is the issue in their politics is that both the political powers, they fight too much and they act very childish. They waste a lot more time trying to throw mud at each other than they do trying to solve a problem. Yeah, that's 5 people in jail. But they're crazy.
I heard some shit today. Whew. Man, we got a lot of issues, but good grief.
Look at this, even honey. In St. Lucia, they've got something to develop a 3-year operational plan, deliver training and governance, cooperate management for the St. Lucian honey bee city cluster. Some of the biggest scams, I think, though, is is like how these guys all have to do this stuff, but yet before they do anything, they have to hire a bunch of consultants and stuff like that that basically go in and tell them how they should do it. When really, like, you can you be your own consultant and ask the right questions. You know, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. But what can you do? Definitely export it. What do you guys think about honey? That's actually what I should do. Put down on my
Yeah,
list.
I love honey.
Yeah,
I love honey.
yeah. That's one thing I wanted to do, but like I've looked at the honeybee industry in St. Lucia, and it's almost like it's fucked up. Like there is so much opportunity to produce a lot of honey, but the people that are producing the honey now are barely producing enough honey to meet the demand of the local market. And because of that, it's driven up the price of the honey so high that it almost doesn't make sense for them to produce more honey than they're doing now to export, when it's kind of like they're making, it's almost like if they produce more honey, then the price of the domestic market will drop, and they don't want that. So it's almost like they'd rather not make more honey and just enjoy the money that's coming in now than, you know, lose some money like somewhat today to sell more in the future
Yeah.
on the foreign market. But I also think there's rooms to even take the honey there and turn it into other like sort of added value products, like adding, say, passion fruit to the honey and making a passion fruit honey blend. That would be ill. I know lots of people that would buy into that. You know, interesting. I'm gonna contact them about this honey. What is this about the bee city? Because it says honey production and honey exports present a great option for many rural St. Lucians to achieve financial stability. However, honey production remains a small industry that still relies on heavily traditional means of extraction instead of using technology. The Bee City project will reduce the constraints of hindering the expansion of the sector. The project will position St. Lucia's honey in the niche markets catering to health conscious consumers. The Bee City product aims to enhance the honey industry through 3 steps: product development, institutional strength and capacity building, domestic and international market development. Interesting. So I'm gonna do some more research on this bee city thing. See what that's about. They say that the honey that's coming out of St. Lucia. It's like some of them is might have like special medicinal properties to it, similar to uh, Manuka honey.
Yeah, that's some good honey.
Yeah. Well, part of the reason why it makes a good honey or any honey good is that the honey has, through the bees doing their gut and enzyme and stuff, they produce like a natural peroxide.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's what?
I see. Yep, absolutely right.
Yeah. And so I think it's measured in like MDF or whatever that is. It's some three-letter acronym. And so Manuka honey is high in that level of stuff, and so that's why it's like if you take it, you're supposed to just naturally get healthy because it's like a natural peroxide that will like reduce infection and clean inflammation and a bunch of other shit in your body. Yeah.
Let me find this other book. Because I was talking about this other book online. 30-minute care, 50-minute care. I gotta find this book.
And you say you sent it over on Instagram? You sent me the books on Instagram?
Yeah, the covers of the book on Instagram. But I sent you a site from Jamaica that's pretty good, and that's owned by the people. It ain't like it's that's owned by the people.
What you send it on here in Clubhouse?
No, Instagram. I sent the link for the herb in Jamaica. It's a pretty good place to get it from. Because how they wash their stuff is pretty good. I kind of like certain methods of how they wash their stuff. And I'm trying to find this book about food grade peroxide. That book is pretty good too. I can't find it.
Oh, this is crazy. I think I found something on the website that I can find out how much Seamoss was shipped for so I can go and pick up how much Seamoss was shipped out of St. Lucia from say January 2020. I just did it from January 2020 to January 22. And it's interesting.
Here it goes. Over 1 minute here. Damn, I'm off.
I think you might have sent it to the wrong person. I haven't got that.
Oh, yeah, I did send it to the wrong person. I sent it to the Oh, yeah, man. Is it? I don't know, man. I sent it to the wrong person. I don't know, man. They ain't got pages on it, so I just be on.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can look up my first order.
Your first order? How far back did it go?
That would be 2020.
Okay.
Probably in May-ish time. I think our first shipment was like 200 pounds.
Yeah, I just sent you a message on Instagram. I said I just sent you a message on Instagram. Well, what's the name so you can know which one to send it to.
Okay, yeah. I sent it to the wrong. I sent it to what's his name, man?
Probably Sean. No. He gonna be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh man, I gotta take that. I'm gonna have to tell him. Next time we get on there, I'm gonna have to tell him like, man, I was sending to the wrong person.
Wow.
I did everything to the wrong person. I bet he on it.
Shit, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy, bro. Oh man. I don't be remember who be on who be on anyway, man. I'm serious, bro. I'll be remembering. I'll be remembering.
He gonna thank us for calling. He gonna like, you know what I've been thinking about doing this anyways.
Oh yeah.
He gonna thank us for calling. He gonna say, you know, I was thinking about getting this book anyway. That's a sign.
Oh yeah. I done did everything to the wrong person. Oh man, I done did everything to the wrong person. Man, I'm so bad for that.
Wow.
Oh man, I'm crazy.
Either some companies are like shipping the Seamoss under a different pretense or a different code, or there's not a lot of people, like there's probably there's probably way more people out there selling Seamoss saying it's St. Lucian and it's not St. Lucian. Because I'm looking at all the shipments and the quantities. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, where are all the big shippers?
Gotta slap that good name on there.
Yeah, it's like,
Selling it out their backyard.
Like, I honestly, it definitely opened my eyes because I thought there was definitely more Seamoss being shipped, even to Canada.
Shit, they man.
Huh?
I think they probably got a lot of bro, you're probably the only one shipping Seamoss outside of St. Lucian, man.
No, honestly, I thought there was bigger guys than me. Really, truly. And I mean, there's a lot of these small shipments, but there's not a lot of like big ones. You know what I mean?
They have one company that's called Seamoss Co. or something like that. Let me see. Because I've been trying to find them for a long time, but they in Zanzibar, so they make soap. They make Seamoss soap. I've been trying to try their Seamoss soap, but I don't even think, you know.
Well, there was one guy that was getting shipped 454 pounds every week, it looked like. Or sorry, 454 kilograms every week.
Oh damn! I can't believe I still got the pictures on it. Oh, it's called
What? You were breaking up.
Yeah, one more time.
Oh, it's called. Oh, let me see. Damn, this picture's small because I was doing my investigation and stuff. So the company is VANEA Seaweed Co. I guess the Co stand for company.
VENA?
VANEA Seaweed Company or Seaweed Co.
Vina or something.
Yeah, Seaweed Co. And that's a company that gets the stuff from Zanzibar, and it's ran by Filipinos in Africa.
Oh, wow. Not surprised, Filipinos though. They're like the biggest producers of Eukinema cottantini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, everybody got their little, you know, their little, what is it? The what is that shit called? A sanitary certificate? I don't know.
Phytosanitary
Yeah.
certificate.
Everybody had that and they covering it up where they getting it from. I'm like, everybody know where you getting it from.
Mm-hmm.
They covering up the name of the address of the export, you know, the people who sent it to them. I'm like, man, that's lame.
Yeah.
That is lame, bro.
Well, they're afraid to know that I laugh. Like when I put my phytosanitary, I don't cover any of it. You see all the details.
Yeah, that's lame to cover it up because I'm like, bro, all I gotta do is go to the website that's on that piece of paper and look up the company.
Yeah.
That's it. All the companies that ship out is gonna come up on the website. So, you know.
What do you mean? Like there's a website you can go to that lists all the people that got phytosanitary certificates?
Yeah, like okay, you have a say if you look at that final sanitary certificate, they have a website on it. And or what you can do is you can just start looking up that country or look up people that sell Seamoss in Tanzania, whatever, Zanzibar, Tanzania. All of that stuff is gonna come up. It's just gonna come up. You're gonna see all the companies that sell Seamoss, and you can find most of those companies on Alibaba.
Mm-hmm.
So I be like, I don't know why people be trying to hide the shit, man. Like, you know, it ain't that serious.
Yeah.
Somebody, yeah, we get Seamoss from here. I know that Seamoss coming from Africa. They probably hitting them up with shipping about $1,000. That's why I was like, nah, they tripping. They getting that. Let me tell you something. They got to be getting that shit for about 50 cents if they getting that shit cheaper than jewelry. I'm serious. There's no way in hell.
They get it cheap. I'm sure they get it cheap. But I also don't charge a lot on the Seamoss. Like I pay a lot for the Seamoss, and I don't I don't add a lot on it. I just move it. I'm flipping it.
Yeah, but man.
Like the retail's a little bit high, but I put that really because it's a good product. One, two. I don't want to be lower than my competitor. I mean, than my customers. I shouldn't be lower. And I mean, even them, they should be slightly higher because of the service that they provide. Like, I don't provide as much as a service as someone that would be selling my product to someone else, you know? Because I'm trying more the being the supplier rather than the end, you know? I'm B2B rather than B2C. I guess overall in 1 month they do sell a lot of Seamoss, but there's no one that's like taking one order a huge amount from what I can see from all these orders. But it's interesting to see like, wow, someone took like fucking, wow, how is that even possible? It looks like they took 500,000 kilograms. And they shipped it by air. Wow. That's got to be a typo. That's a lot of kilograms.
It might not. It might not be. That's how the Asians move. They move that shit by the tons coming to the U.S.
But on a plane?
I'm on a ship, man. Man, have you ever saw those FedEx planes? You know, UPS planes? That ain't regular planes. That's some shit the Army be dropping tanks in. For real, man. Like,
No,
I don't know if people know. I don't know if import. That's their shit.
Mm-hmm.
So only thing coming in on their plane is drugs and everything else. You know, they try to act like they're not moving that dope. They moving dope because they got fined what, $1 billion something before
Mm-hmm.
moving all that dope. Talking about, oh, we wasn't checking it, man. Bro, they brought so much drugs to the country, bro.
Really, I didn't know that. Mm.
Yeah, ain't nobody checking their ass. They got sued. Nobody was checking them. You know, they got sued for that shit.
That's crazy.
Man, this is almond cow. Shit, hell, I can make some Seamoss milk.
Yeah, that was your boy. That was your boy talking about the milk the other time. Seamoss Gold Seamoss.
Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky. Yeah, that's who I sent all the stuff to. I thought that was because I hear the voice, but I don't see the, you know, I wasn't looking on the clubhouse there. They probably won't.
Yeah, he'll appreciate it.
You're like, man, what is this?
Oh shit! It'd be just like, well, thanks.
I probably woke that man up and everything, bro.
No, he was up. He was in the live stream on Instagram earlier, just watching. A lot of times when he's working, like producing stuff, if he's making a lot of noise, he won't turn it on. You know what I mean? He'll just he won't come and talk. He'll just listen until I say something that like catches his interest, and then he's like, "Hey, interesting." There's like really few people that are bringing in more than like 100 kilograms. It's like really rare. That's crazy. The amount of people that are what?
I say you bring in more than that, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm looking at is like the amount of people, like the amount of orders that I see where they're under 100, under 50 kilograms. It's like anything under 100 pounds. It's like if I sent 5 pounds or I spent 38 pounds, it's going to cost me pretty much the same in shipping costs. And so, yeah, it's high, and that's what I'm like looking at. Like I'm like, wow, like the amount of people that placed orders that wasn't that high. It's kind of like, you know. But I'm also thinking that this information is not totally accurate because I would have like there was a couple like there's a couple I'm looking at it and there's times where I know we've ordered or placed an order and I don't see that order and amount on the screen unless I don't know my eyes got dizzy or something.
Final sanitary certificate. That ain't shit. That ain't those things. I'm looking at this piece of paper. That ain't nothing. Only thing, the only people, man.
Well, people are starting to fake them now, right?
Yeah, but you only get that if you bring it and they just look at your shit. Okay, you gonna package up. He ain't got no seeds and no dope. So you go your certificate. That shit ain't get tested in no lab. That's what people think it is, like some shit get tested in the lab. That ain't that.
No.
People are like, yeah, they gotta have this. No, they don't.
But here's the thing, though. It is sort of like an indication that shows that where you got the product because you couldn't go get it if the thing wasn't produced in St. Lucia. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like in that case, yeah, because you know where it came from. But people think that's like, okay, I got it tested. No, it ain't tested. How the hell you think your boy sent them old wet ass herbs this way?
Yeah.
You know, they looked at it. That shit came mildew with bugs in it.
Yeah. What? His had bugs in it?
After a while, they come out.
Oh shit.
That's why I tell people to soak their herbs in water in food grade peroxide
Yeah.
before you dry them out. Do that to the Seamoss too. Once you get your Seamoss and you clean all the salt off, soak in water and peroxide.
You say what? Food grade peroxide. Huh?
Yeah, food grade peroxide. That's the same thing your boy said when he was on the live with us last time. I was like, I'm surprised he said that because not too many people do that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when your boy from Jamaica, when he was on the last live, he was saying soap and peroxide. I was like, man, I'm surprised to hear him say that because, you know, I ain't never hear nobody else say that.
Mm-hmm. Most people aren't.
But I had some root. I think it was chain root, and that had bugs in it.
Really?
Which when I first got it, it didn't, but it was in a cabinet for a minute, and that was from Mexican Herbs or something. I forgot what it's called. One of those big companies that's in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some herbs from them. After a while, all of the bugs and stuff came out of the root. You know. Cause you know, as soon as you get them, basically all the herbs are gonna be like that. Even herbs in a bag. That's why you gotta use it as soon as you get them. There's really nothing they can do about that. You know, but yeah, but your boy stuff came messed up though.
Yeah.
Stuff like messed up.
Mm.
And it was too high, so you know, I gave him some business, but you know.
Yeah, I was wondering what's going on with him. You know, how's he doing?
He's selling that duck flour now that everybody's looking for, which they don't understand that duck flour is considered poison in every book, in every lab, because people think that's a detox herb. It's not. It's making your body go into a mode of getting rid of everything out your body because it has poison in it. So everything, it's making you throw up, it's making you shit. And the acid, I forgot what this acid is called, but it's some type of acid, not saying that it burns your skin, but it's this certain chemical that's in that herb. And when they take it, it damn near like eat up their liver and kidney. And they don't know that, and they think they doing some type of good detox, but that shit is really like slightly killing them. And they eat the whole flower. The only part of that herb is supposed to be used is like the certain parts of the flower and root. I mean, not root, the vine. And that herb wasn't never used for medicine. It was used for ritual. That's a ritual herb that they use, and that's just what they believe. And they take this, and you throw up this and that, and you get closer to knowing yourself and the spirits and all of that type of stuff. But they using it as some type of medicine and shit, and that shit is not. You know, I was trying to explain that to somebody. I was like, nah, bro, they use that herb in ritual. It's just like when people use that people been doing for forever. So it's good for you.
True.
If he's on that flower, I told her, you're in trouble. You send that shit to you.
Yeah, these guys gotta be careful about some of the stuff that they're taking and not understanding it fully.
Yeah, I was telling him to look into it, man, because you know, if you're not qualified to handle certain herbs, man. Nah, don't mess with them.
That's true. Facts. Wow. I'm gonna show this to my partner's site. It's got to be something I'm looking at wrong or something. So,
On what? Instagram?
yeah, or the way this number is listed. I think like, am I looking at numbers or am I looking at kilograms? It just seems like there's some details that are not right, and I even think some of the shipments that we've been sending aren't being shown, and I think they're using like other codes sometimes because there's like how they track these shipments, like how they know it's CMOS is because when you ship it, you have to use like an import code, and so the import code for CMOS fit for human consumption is 121221, right? But sometimes you can get stuff like someone could have sent it, and even though it was fit for human consumption, they could have said no, it's not, and labeled it as that. And so if I'm not looking for that code, I might not find it. You know what I mean? It might come like it's not regular, but and I'm just looking at some of these orders, and I just feel like for the amount of order, like how do I put it? It's like for the amount of people that I see that claim to sell the amount of CMOS that they sell, you would think that there'd be more shipments going out in larger amounts. And that's not what I'm seeing. Like I'm seeing usually nothing more than 1,000 pounds. And even some of the orders, I don't think I've seen any of the orders that are that we placed. I'd have to go back and look at the exact number that we shipped and try and match it. But from what I see, it's not there. Like I don't see any of our orders because we've never shipped less than like 1,000 kilos. Or actually, I lied. In the beginning, were shipping less than 1,000 kilos. But like in like say the last year or so, it hasn't been less than that.
Well, that work, man. That work.
Yeah, but it's like, where's the work? There's no evidence. It's like I need to see my name on the board. But then I'm looking at some of these, and it's like occasionally you might see someone shipping 1,000 kilos or over 500 kilos, but it's like 24, 3, 5, 11, 12, 20, 10. It's like holy shit. There was a lot of, I guess, direct. I mean, this is good too, right? Because a lot of direct. These are like for a lot of direct sales, in a sense.
Yeah, man, you gotta take over, bro. None of it was supposed to be sold without you being in.
What do you think this is? The mafia?
Nickel bag, dime, shit sold, you want it.
Yeah, I want
don't matter.
I want $1 for everything. Yeah, I don't need to make all that money, but what I would like to see is something where it's sort of like I'm looking at all these small shipments, and imagine they ship that one time to one area, and then it was reshipped out from there for less. And so it would be cool if these like farmers could trust me to send the CMOS to our location and even send it as one giant shipment. Do you know what I'm saying? But everybody has their sort of, I put in 5 pounds, you put in, 1,000 pounds or whatever, and that's what you're allocated when the shit gets here, and then you can sell it and just pay a little bit for someone to package and ship it for you. I don't know what to see. Let me see if there's some way to make it work. But if it can work, it could save a lot of people a lot of money on both sides, you know, because for every shipment that this made, someone had to pay a customs broker fee to clear it, for the most part, unless there are smaller amounts or the value is under a certain amount, they can usually get by it. Even me, the first couple times I made shipments, I claimed that they were for my own personal use, which was pretty interesting to see me sort of try to explain and justify why it's not considered like I'm not bringing it in a what would be considered a commercial amount. And like imagine I'm bringing in 1,500 kilograms like in like 50 boxes. You know what I mean? And so the guy's like, "Oh, so is this for commercial? What's your company name?" I was like, "No, no, it's for personal." It's like personal, like that. I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Really? What do you do with it?" I'm like, "I don't know, bathe in it." It's like bathe in it. Like, yeah, I fill it on a bathtub and I make it into a gel and it's good for my skin, helps soothe it. It's like, "Fuck, bathe it." It's like, "Where do you keep this?" Like in my basement. Like, yeah, I got storage there, no problem. Just 3,000 pounds of Seamoss just sitting there. So I think I did that like 3 or 4 times, and then like on the third time or fourth time, I was like, okay, um, I think it's time that I invest in a better system, a better way of doing this. And so I hired a customs broker. And sometimes I feel like certain things happen in my life where I know like God made this stuff happen. And it's like stuff that it's like, when you like how do I put it? It's like you don't see it totally happening then, but you know that there's going to be this thing happening in the future. And so I how I got the customs broker that we use now, there was some email or something that they sent me, some spam, and it was like, and that's my thing is because it's like I remember getting it in my email, but not me requesting it. But it was like a video on how to and I import it into Canada. And so I was like, okay, let me see about importing. And then I watched the video, and then I met this guy in St. Lucia that has all this land, and he wanted to talk to me about selling produce and importing it. And then she like literally called like the next day out of nowhere, and it was just this girl. I can't remember. I think her name was Margaret, and she was so nice, and we clicked it. Like we talked for like 3 hours on the phone. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm going to introduce you to this person and that person and this and this and this is why sometimes you got to be like nice to people and just like see where things go. Like even if they sound a little crazy or a little off or you don't click with them, you know what I mean? You almost got to give everybody the benefit of the doubt because you never know where that journey is going to lead you." So she's like, introduced me to all these major players of people that are dealing with produce and stuff like that in North America. And so I opened the door on that, but then also with this brokerage, before I was paying upwards of $350 to clear a package in the States at least. I now clear a package for like a fraction of that. Like I don't even want to tell you how much it is because you'd be like, holy shit. But imagine, like, I told a couple other guys that do shipping, and they're like, "You're serious? You're lying." Like, I don't think they even believe me. I think they think I was full of shit because it was just so cheap. And yeah, and I feel like that was a gift from God to save me from having to continue because it was almost like in the your back of your mind or in your heart, you're like, I can't keep doing this. I can't like I'm gonna get caught. You know, if I don't stop. And so that's what it was, you know. But at the end of the day, how are they going to catch me? Like, you have to prove and show that I'm running a bit. Like, you'd have to follow me for like 2 weeks, you know. And even then, what are you going to see me do? Like walking around? Because all the stuff I no, seriously, the business is all online. So what are you going to see me do? You know, unless you're in my bedroom watching me on my computer, you're not going to be able to figure it out. You know, so that is what it is. I don't even know what I was talking about.
But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here and it's good old night.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna get it too. It's been a low night. Not a lot of people have shown up. It's weird, like how sometimes you can get a lot of people watching, and then like a couple weeks later, you get like zero engagement, like nothing. I think I've like ran off too many of my potential fans through.
Not talking about the rock.
Yeah. Oh boy, don't get me started. I kind of, not that I blew up on this girl, but it was just, you know, when you have to kind of like take your like a second and go, because you realize it's not her, it's just you, the way you know what I mean. So she's asking me a question because she's curious, right? And I'm just like, and she's like, well, you know, they say that, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? They say a lot of things. Doesn't make it true. It's just like, whoa, like, where does this guy come from? But it just bothers me because they call me and it's just like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, why would I lie to you? You know what I mean? Like, why would I make something up in that? Well, so like, well, why are you on the phone with me? You know, that's what I want to say to them sometimes. But no, I do. I'm patient and I explain to them how algae works and how it's not a plant and how rocks work and how no rock has 92 minerals in it. So that's the burn right there. No rock has 92 minerals in it. Yeah, yeah, and that's. I love how you say it underneath your breath. Like, these guys don't know. And
bro, let me tell you something. Everybody want to spend money on getting the seaweed test. I don't believe in that. Why? I mean, if you want to, you can do it, but they already have books with all this shit in it.
Yeah, what are you testing to see?
You can't look up Seamoss. It's seaweed. You have books, cookbooks, nutritional books. You have all of this stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all of the stuff is in there. Every single thing that's in Seamoss is in those books.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they not one time they mentioned 92 minerals or alkaline. Why? Because you want to know Seamoss. If you go down to the nitty gritty, you'll find out that the alkaline shit is is not what you think. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's really not what you think. You know, it's just not what you think.
Yeah.
The Gasolari is more catabolic and Contretripsis is more anabolic. One helps you lose weight faster. One helps you gain muscle faster. But they both good with recovery. They both good with gut. They're both good with, as far as helping you stop being so damn hungry. Both of them are good. Both of them are just slightly different. But they're not even the same not even the same thing. Two different plants. Well, not plants, I don't want to say plants, but two different seaweeds.
Yeah, you almost like would have to take both. Like, it would be beneficial for you to have Congress Christmas and Garfield.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna hurt at all.
I don't understand what this, always this fascination of having the best.
Yeah, and it's not no best. It's different. An apple not better than an orange. An orange ain't better than the apple. Banana ain't better than none of them, and they're not better than a banana. They're all different.
That's the best point.
Yeah, all this superfruit stuff. That shit don't even exist. I mean, I know we say that, but it's like, oh, it's a superfruit. No, it's not a superfruit because they've been eating that shit in Jamaica. Y'all dumbasses just got on it. So anytime they find something, oh, this is a superfruit. So when the white people get on Moringa, they go, oh, this is a superfruit. We got Moringa cornflakes. They're going to want to put it in everything. So it's not a superfruit. It's just what it is. It has all of this nutrition in it, and a handful of moringa leaves ain't even enough to give you a lot of nutrition value in it. You have to take it for a while. So a lot of people are like, oh man, I'm about to take a teaspoon of this. Nah, it ain't enough. That ain't enough. You better eat that shit like a salad.
And enjoy it because it tastes like crap.
Yeah.
If you eat it like that.
The seeds, you can choose seeds and shit, And in moringa, you can use every piece, every part of that plant, the bark, everything.
About these crazy gloves today. I went to the hardware store because this guy. Well, I guess he's not going to show. I don't like to talk about people's business, right? And I don't want him to hear this story and then be like, "Oh, you know what I mean? You're putting my name in the streets or whatever." But this guy is in a really kind of I wouldn't want to be on his position, I wouldn't want to have his life. And so he's been in and out of jail all his life. Right, he just got out of like 4 or 5 years of being in jail, during which time one of his brothers dies. Then he gets out of jail, and then like within weeks of him getting out, his other brother dies. So his twin brothers, are dead. He's in like his mid-30s or whatever. Because he's been in and out of jail, he's real kind of like doesn't know what to do with his life, where to go, how to do things, what's going on. You know what I mean? And it's like he's a good kid, but it's just like I could see that it's almost like if he doesn't get enough support and even just enough, like just
right back.
Exactly. And this is another way God like works, right? Like I get him to come hang out with me at the warehouse. I'm like, come sit here. I'll pay you a few bucks. You can pack Seamoss, in the package and stuff like that. And then while we're there, my buddy who owns a demolition company happens to just drop by, right? Like he does all the time, right? Because he's sharing the warehouse space with us. But he's there. We get to talking. I'm like, this guy's looking for work. You hire him $20 an hour. He's like, yeah, no problem. Boom, bam. You know what I mean? And now he's, whereas he didn't have any prospects for a job or where to look. Now he's got a job where, he's working in what I would consider a non-stressful environment. You know what I mean? All you're doing is smashing shit and bringing it to a bin. As long as you move for most of the hour, you should be okay. You know what I mean? Like it's not a challenging workplace. Like just work. That's all you got. Like to me, those are the best jobs. The ones where you just got to work and you don't got to think, and it's like all labor and stuff like that. Those are the hardest to get fired. And huh? No, am I right or am I wrong? You know what I mean?
No, you're right, but keep it. Well, people get fired from jobs like that, like
they do.
My granted, they don't be wanting to do shit.
Oh,
I be like, bro, you ain't got to do nothing but work.
Yeah, just move. Listen, like I should teach a job on like certain like the number one thing. You know what I would do that would always guarantee that I would keep a job. I always made sure that when anybody came in, if I wasn't doing like I would always be doing something. So while everybody's hanging out and talking or whatever, I had a broom in my hand. Almost always, I always had a broom in my hand. And so you know how they kind of gather and work or whatever. I would just be sweet. Like if I didn't know what to do, I'd pick up a broom and sweep. You know what I mean?
That's a go-to right there.
Go to right there. And
That ain't go wrong.
I guarantee you, when the boss walks in the room and everybody's flopping the shit, and he looks at the one guy holding the broom. Come with me, Julien. Let's have a conversation. How do you like the job here? I think you need to move up. You're in the wrong environment. Bro, the amount of times I've had that conversation with people, I'm like, it's the broom. So Khaled sits here. Everybody's got a right to their own opinion. That's true. You know what I mean? I think everybody needs a right to their own opinion. But the one thing I feel that's been happening a lot that is something that's wrong is that a lot of people state their opinion like it's a fact.
Yeah. And don't want to hear any other opinions. Like their opinion is the opinion.
Yeah. And so I'm willing to hear other people's opinions. But I also know what facts are facts. You know what I mean? And if you listen to the stuff, when I say stuff, you'll notice when, you know what I mean? I'm not talking facts because I will say I believe or, you know what I mean? I consider this or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I won't. I'm sort of mindful of how I word things to ensure that I protect myself so I don't look like I'm making claims that I can't back up. Bro, I got these I can't wait to try these out tomorrow. I got these, they're called Mad Grip Performance Hand Protection for automotive, mechanical, do-it-yourself, oil, gas, construction, lawn, and garden. And so you should see these. They're like a felt hand with like a thick latex covering on it. And so I'm getting it so that I can, when I'm packing the Seamoss, it doesn't puncture my hands. It doesn't damage my hands.
Yeah, I bet that shit got to be rough.
Well, dude, even that super dried Seamoss kills my hands.
Oh, you said it's latex?
Yeah, or I don't know if it's latex or some plastic protection, rubber. I assume it's latex. It's thermoplastic rubber. That's it.
So it's reusable or there's like...
Yeah, it's reusable. They're like gloves, like not like disposable plastic gloves. But,
all right, because I've been looking for some gloves because I'll be dealing with that oil and that
mm-hmm. I can't believe it. My brother-in-law actually works for a glove manufacturing company. And I've been meaning to get him to send me some good gloves, but I keep forgetting. And today, the same. So that was I was talking about earlier. So the same kid that had the issues and stuff like that, where he got the job. So he's got this job now with my buddy on doing the demo, and he needed a hard hat. So I went out and basically bought him a hard hat so that he can, because it was one of those things where it's like, oh, he needs me to work tomorrow. He said I need a hard hat. I don't know where to get one. I was like, oh, fuck. All right, hang on. Let me get you a hard hat. You know what I mean? Like, if it came down to me getting a hard hat or him going in the streets, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, I'll get you 10 hard hats, you know? And so that's where I got these gloves from.
Like, fuck it, while I'm here, might as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. And I was like, I need these for my hands are getting all torn up and stuff. So I got two pairs. One that's like really thick, and then another one that is like just like they're like a fabric glove. And these are the ones I've had before, but the other ones, it's like they're so worn that the fingertips are all gone. And so it's almost like, when you have those hobo gloves where they have the holes and the fingers, you know what I'm talking about? Like the tips of the fingers are chopped off. Yeah. So imagine the gloves look like that. Whereas like the tips of the fingers all rubbed off from me trying to like grab Seamoss from the bin. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I know, Reginald, you were trying to get going. And really, truly, I should be getting going. I got to stop trying to have these 3 o'clock in the morning kind of things. So let's call it a night. And maybe next week I'll do a review on my workman gloves here. Let you guys know how it is. And that's another thing too. So Reginald, would you order more of that dry gold, that super dry?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I actually might be able to get more of that.
And how much cheaper you selling that for?
I sell it on the website $180 for 10 pounds with shipping.
So 180 for 10 pounds. That's including shipping.
Yeah, including shipping.
That's like,
so it's
$18 a pound.
What?
$18 a pound.
Yeah, it works out. But here's the catch. What?
Oh no, I'm listening.
So here's the catch, or not the catch, but here's the bonus, right? Because there is no catch. Because it's so dry, there's more Seamoss in the box than if you were to buy the stuff that's not as dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like, the stuff that's not as dry still have like that somewhat water content, like it's not as dry. So yeah, it's definitely with it being drier, you get more.
I like it like that. I like it dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good, but for some people they don't like it because when it gets that dry, it also gets brittle, right? And so sometimes you might make the gel, and instead of having one big giant bunch, you have a bunch of little bits. You know what I mean? Which that's hard to sell. But if you're making the gel, once you blend it, it's all the same thing. It's Seamoss,
Yeah. Throw the hot water on there, it'll bounce back real quick.
Yeah.
Wash it with some hot water, and it get back real fast. So yeah, I would definitely buy some more of that. Like I said, I would still have to get the purple and the green, but as far as, because the yellow, the gold is mostly what I use in the gels, and most people that's what they go for.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we can't really consume the green and the purple every single day, so that would be good for like the Seamoss face mask that I do, or the Seamoss hair oil or something like that. Like that's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, man. They'll both be great. And I should try the green for more. I wonder what it'd be like if I went and tried the green like every day. I just don't, because it just makes me. It's just so hard on my stomach.
Yeah, it definitely flushes. It definitely get everything moving.
Yeah, every day.
It gets stuff moving.
Yeah, man. All right, well, let's.
Yeah, man, I definitely want to get with y'all all the other stuff that that they have over there in St. Lucian.
Like what stuff?
Just different herbs. But I'm really looking for like coffee and stuff like that. Like
Coffee?
The cocoa.
Cocoa.
Yeah, like coffee beans and the cacao. So that's my biggest thing. Like I'm looking for. But I'm definitely gonna do the Seamoss as well.
Actually, I'm gonna make some calls tomorrow about the cacao, because that is something I think a product that I can start bringing in different like cacao nibs and stuff like that, and the chocolate sticks. And
because just like I say, looking at this cow, this with the cow machine that you just told me about. So that's the first thing I thought about with the cacao. That's like natural chocolate. So I mean, mix that. You have your natural, plant-based milk, and then throw some plant-based chocolate in there, and then both you got chocolate milk, or even with the coffee beans. You can do it like that.
Now with that, if you're trying to make chocolate, you got to let those beans ferment.
But that brings me an interesting idea. It's like, if you're going to be making gel, maybe you should look at also seeing if you can make nut butters. Because not nut butters, nut milks, right? Like just like that.
Yeah, that's what I said when I was looking at the almond cow. And that's what I said. Like I could make nut milk with the Seamoss infused milk.
Yep. Yeah, that's
make some chocolate milk, and even hell, that can go into the whole Seamoss ice cream.
Yeah.
Seamoss ice cream pops, or the Seamoss sticks. I mean, the ice cream bars. But they have I was looking at their website. And they have a bunch of recipes on a lot of recipes that can easily be infused with Seamoss gel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have cookbooks, cookbooks as well, so you can look that stuff up too. But they have some decent stuff.
Yeah, so most likely end up buying that machine. So most likely end up buying that machine and go stock up on a bunch of different nuts and get to creating, go into scientist mode and come up with something in Seamoss milk. Yeah. A lot of people are going more so to the plant-based milk-ish, kind of way. So,
well, there's definitely a big interest in the Seamoss conference. Like, I've had a couple of people contact me about that. Do you know what I mean? And so when you're talking about like the community sharing information and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, because they were all like, the girl, like this one customer calls me today, and they're like, oh yeah, so when you do the Seamoss conference, and I was like, Seamoss conference? Like, what? And then I was like, oh yeah, we were talking about that last day. And I was like, listen, I'm gonna be telling you the truth, right? Like the only way the only thing I'm having to do with the Seamoss conference is they invite me as the keynote speaker. I go, but like if it comes to me being responsible for organizing the Seamoss conference, there's not going to be a Seamoss conference. Like it just won't happen. And you can tell she's all like depressed, but it's like seriously, like you know how much stuff I have on my plate right now. Like I can't let someone else do that, and I'll show up and I'll promote the shit out of it. You know what I mean? And I'll support it, right? But I can't plan it. Not this time. Like not next month or anything like that. You know, call me in like a year or two, and I might have the free time.
You need to hook up with a lot of those people in the Bahamas, bro, because man, they're not even growing their own Seamoss.
The Bahamas?
Yeah, man, that angel brand shit that they pumping over there.
So, are you from the Bahamas or Barbados? I thought you were from Barbados.
No, man, I'm not from Niza.
Oh,
I got people over there.
so there's a guy. He was doing that. You were here. The same guy.
Yeah. We were talking to
Yeah,
last
Alexio.
week.
Yeah. So the guy Alexio, he's from the Bahamas, and he wants to start a Seamoss farm down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because if he do that, I know your boy will buy the Seamoss from him.
Uh-huh.
I know two herbalists down there that's real big down there,
Uh-huh.
and they ship all the way over here, and I know for sure that can become his customer. That might become his biggest customer because they make the gel and sell it with their herbal packages and stuff. You know, so that'd be something cool.
Yeah. Well, I know he's doing it, one, to probably secure a source for his supply, because I think he sells a lot of, he goes through a lot of gel. And then two, for him to also create job opportunities in Barbados, in Bahamas, for these people by establishing this new industry. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go back and I have a few documents. I'm going to just remember that. You know what? Send. Sorry, I gotta make notes nowadays so I don't like stay on top of my stuff. Send Alexia, because by tomorrow I'll forget like what we discussed tonight. You know what I mean? Or I could forget. Send Alexio, Seamoss PDFs. Because there's a few PDFs that I have where they go into doing research and reporting on how they went into like a community, specifically this community called Labry, and how they created um, opportunities with Seamoss. Yeah. But we keep saying goodbye, but let's make it official. I'm getting tired.
All right. All right. I'll catch y'all on Sunday.
Yeah. Come back on Sunday.
Like, what? All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right.
Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Those that stayed to the end, I really appreciate it. I'm dead tired. I'm freaking out about my Instagram, low key. You know what I mean? I don't understand how someone could come in and block it, one, and then two, like, how am I gonna get it back? Like, I worked so hard with all that content on it. Like, who cares about the followers? It's all that content that I put on. It's crazy. Anyways. Tune in till I guess this is Wednesday until Sunday, and I'll see if we have an update on my Instagram account. And until then, take care and make sure you take your Seamoss. See ya.